All right. Just a little. I want you guys to loosen up. Some of you have just joined our training opportunity to actually be in one of our trainings, and so I'm excited that you are here on this morning. I'm even more so excited about the speakers and the presenters that we have on today, and I'm not going to hold long. We are videoing, live streaming for those who are not able to make it. They will be able to see this training on today. So presenters, pay attention. I see we are on now. Am I supposed to walk a certain way? Okay, you probably turn it up, Justin. You want me to come to the middle? Like that? Can you turn it a little bit more? Too tall for me. But can it turn a little bit more? Oh, you're saying so that the presentation can show. So you use the phone. So, housekeeping rules, let's turn our cell phones off or on silent. The ringer on the side, you know what it is, I got the bad habit. So leave them right up. So, let's do that. We generally like to do that so that we can maximize our meeting without interruptions, even if you're not all in, somebody else might be. So we want to get that in place this morning. I'm not going to talk more because I'm excited that we got more associates that are stepping up in 2015 that are well capable of taking care of the meeting. So without further ado, we can get our introductions. She'll get our introductions of every one of you when she comes up. But I want you to put your hands together for Barbara Cooper, who is going to facilitate the meeting. She's the executive vice president, benefit company with me. Wow, for the entire program. So she's a veteran, also here, and happens to be sixth generation in MyEcon. It's you, Barbara. Good morning.
Good morning.
I will be your facilitator today. I'm Barbara Cooper, as Cooper said. Okay, this is the CR MyEcon Cashflow Success Training at Monticello Chamber of Commerce, 335 East Game Street, Monticello, Arkansas. And I will be doing the opening. That will be me, none other than me. I'd just like to introduce someone, tell us about your business, how many years you've been in it. We're going to start right over here with the lady talk. I'm employee Yarbrough, anywhere. I was in the business and I'm back in the business as of January of this year, so be ready to work. This is my daughter, Ladarian Page. And I've been in for 3 months now.
Good morning. My name is Lou Lambert. I am an EVP. I live here in Monticello, and I have been in the business since 2005.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tasha Perry. I'm from Lake Village. I've been in the business since September of last year.
I'm Marilyn Benson. I'm in MyEcon since 2007 and have put back over 20,000 hours back into our pocket. We've invested in 2008, and the Lord has truly blessed us.
Okay, back there. I'm in with help and I've been in the business for you. I'm Linda Lucas and I've been in the business since August of 2013 and I'm the EVP. I'm Anita Riley. I've been in the business
a year, I slacked off and I'm back like full-fledged and ready to make this thing happen this year. And this is my guest, my husband.
Hi, I'm Marshall Seawood. I live in Little Rock, Arkansas, and here too. I have been in the business since January of this year. Very excited about it. First thing I did was change my W-2s and learn how to do those correctly. And just really excited to be here. Thank you.
My name is Nathan Hill. I'm from Hampton, Arkansas. I started the business last year. Slacked off, came back full-fledged this year. Started my financial strategy. So that's working out well. And I'm ready to roll. This is my insurance.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Allen, EVP of MyEcon. I've been in business 4 years now. Since being in business, I cashed flow over $30,000 back to my home, paid my car off on time. It was to purchase my home. So I'm excited about it and I'm moving forward. All right.
I did it. We thank you for waking us on my way, watching in our minds to listen in to what everyone has to say and take it in as God. Touch us, right. Elevate us, God, to do what we have to do for our lives, God. Yeah. Touch us right now, God. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Next, we're going to have our motivational moment by Latoya Yarborough. She's an MD. Let's give it up for Amen. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Everybody can hear me clearly. I got a big mouth, so I can talk loud. If you cannot. Okay. So hello, everybody in streaming. Amen. We thank God for being here on today. I know we're not having church on this morning, but I thank God for being a part of MyEcon. Can I get a witness? Amen. I just want to motivate us on today. I keep hearing the word as everybody was introducing themselves. I'm ready to work. Let's move forward. Let's get going. So I want to motivate us on today so that we can keep in mind that whatever we're doing in our life, not just MyEcon, but whatever we're doing in our life, we can keep moving forward, all right? Yeah. My husband's a pastor, so sometimes I'll say amen like it's just second nature to me, okay? All right. It pays to be a winner. Competition is at the heart of a startup mindset. While monetary benefit can certainly be a motivator, many entrepreneurs pursue their entrepreneurial dreams to fulfill the need of financial freedom or to provide a product of unique value. When Sam Walton started up Walmart, he didn't start Walmart up just because he felt like selling t-shirts and stock. He started Walmart up because he had a mindset of competition. Everything we do in our life, just about everything we do in our life, is a mindset. We have to have a mindset of competition. In MyEcon, you have to have a mindset of competition. Amen? Is that right? In your everyday life, sometimes you have to have a mindset of competition. When you're soul winning, now I'm bringing it to the church, you have to have a mindset of competition. How you got to have a mindset of competition even in soul winning? Well, you want to get what the devil wants to get. Is that all right? So even though we're victorious over the devil, we have to compete with him with the souls that we want to win. Is that a competition? Right. All right. It may or may not pay off to be a winner. Of course, there is a shelf life in being all in all the time. Improvement is anything that requires self-awareness to know when to accelerate your efforts and when to just put them in park. Those gifts that you have in those areas of your life that you know are strong, couponing,
Y'all talk back to me.
Yeah.
I also work in education, so if my students ain't talking back, they not getting it, so I have to keep teaching the lesson. Okay, so don't be quiet on me this morning. Even in, check in. Even in couponing, we have to know when to put it in part. Is that right? We have to know when to save a coupon and when to use a coupon. So that's the same way in our everyday life and in MyEcon. Whatever gift that we have to know when to accelerate that gift and when to put that gift in part. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says there is a season for everything. So sometimes, even in MyEcon, at your house, when you're talking to your husband, when you're hollering at your kids, is sometimes we know when to go hard, and sometimes we have to know when to pull back and put that thing in park. Can I get a witness?
Yeah.
We're not going to stop. Don't let the wool be pulled over your eyes. How many of you know that training, learning, improvement, prayer, it's not an end state, but it's the next state. So I have a question for all of you, my economists in here on today. What are you going to do next? Have you heard of the saying, nothing lasts forever? Big Money Chris has a cousin named James Allen, who was an author of the book called As a Man Thinketh. Once said, circumstances does not make the man, it reveals him. Entrepreneurship isn't an overnight evolution. Success comes to those stubborn few who choose to ignore the temporary discomfort of a setback for a long-term strategy in delivering value. Does MyEcon have strategy?
Yeah.
Is there anybody in here who have been in a temporary setback, but they have a long-term strategy for living life to the fullest?
Oh, yeah.
Y'all so quiet.
Yeah.
Hold your head up. Sometimes you just need to hold your head up, grit your teeth, and run this race with patience.
Yeah.
There are many days when we don't think we can make it. And I keep speaking around because I got what I can. But there are many days when we don't want to make it. Do I have a witness?
Yeah.
I've had some of those days.
Yeah.
But some of you know as well as I know, we all will make it.
Yeah.
We have to be strong in the Lord and in the power of His might. We have to hold on to the promises that have been given to us and don't quit. Learn from your mistakes and be a level 5 leader. Whether it's a mistake in conflict in your family, your church, your business, there are egos, there are lives, and there are livelihoods that are at stake when decisions go awry. Learning from and acknowledging mistakes requires humility that a level 5 leader displays. Level 5 leadership, according to Jim Collins, is what separates exceptional leaders from all of the others. Do I have any level 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 leaders on this morning? Respond and have faith. I hope I'm inspiring you this morning. In Stephen Covey's bestseller, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he speaks of how choice resides within the gap between stimulus and response, and how to be responsible for your actions in one matter of being response able. Not responsible, but response able. Okay. Prepare to respond in every situation, every circumstance, either physically or prayerfully in secret prayer. It's your choice, it's my choice, and it's our choice as to how we respond to our everyday life. My Bible tells me that I can do all things through Christ.
Yes.
My Bible tells me that God will see me through every situation.
Yes.
And you're looking at a living testimony.
Yes.
That God has seen me through some situations. Some that I didn't want to go through, some that I had to go through, some that I didn't know I was going to go through.
Yeah.
But every situation that I've gone through,
Yeah.
He was the one that brought me out.
Come on now.
You need Bible to back that up? The Bible says that now faith is the substance of things. Now faith is the substance of me going to Walmart with my book of coupons and walking out and not paying anything.
Okay.
Now faith is the substance of me getting 3 or 4 more folks by March 1st so that I can be a PVP. Now faith is the substance of me getting out of debt and not owing anybody a dime.
Okay.
I'm responsible to my situation. Be prepared, be adaptable, and be willing. Change happens when you least expect it. Just being prepared won't suffice, but being prepared and being adaptable will. A person's willingness to accept change and to adapt to it is what allows you to flourish or grow in the unknown. Preparation is just a byproduct of the willingness to give it a try.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
There are two ways to do something. Do it right or do it over again.
Okay.
Whatever is worth your time and energy, it's worth you doing it correctly. It's worth you saying it correctly. It's worth you promoting it correctly. It's worth you selling it correctly. And it's worth you living it correctly. And it's sure enough worth you trusting him correctly.
Amen.
Sometimes the only shot you get at success is the first time, so make it count. It's all mind over matter, and nothing else matters. This is a part I might need y'all to help me with. People, family, entrepreneurs share traits in common, such as independent thinking, blazing their own trail, going against the grain despite the risk, and pursue the passion that drives them. Nothing else matters. So I want you to say with me, nothing else matters. When you get your mind, or when we get our mindset to do something, nothing else matters, especially women.
Okay.
When we make up our mind that we want to lose weight, nothing else matters. We push back the bacon, we push back the bread, we go on a 40-day fast like Jesus, and nothing else matters. And we get in that dress, don't we?
Yeah.
And we decide we want to buy a pair of shoes. We know we don't have enough money to buy them shoes, so we'll put back $1 a week if we have to get them shoes, because nothing else matters. When we decide we want a hug,
Come on now. Don't nothing matter.
don't nothing else matter. When we know we're going to see him, we put on our best dress. We put on our prettiest face. We go spend $65 to get our hair done, because nothing else matters. Nothing else matters when we have a sickness in our body. We're going to find our way to a doctor. We're going to find our way to a pastor so he can pray for us, because nothing else matters but being healed. Is that right?
Yes.
When we get our mind set on something, nothing else matters. I come to encourage you today. Don't quit. Don't give up. And keep on moving forward. Thank you.
Amen.
You know, we in that church a lot and so that.
Yeah.
Anybody else gonna be motivated on that? After Latoya, y'all see us take good motivation. Okay, next we will have Clarissa Page, the EVP. She will talk about MyEcon, business concepts, and tax tips, and Cashflow, both strategy, and MyEcon website.
All right. Y'all give me a hand. I just try to loosen you all up a little bit. We like to have fun in the house, so it's okay for those of you that are first timers. I'm excited. Thank you, everybody. Barbara's done a great job. Y'all give her a hand. And so, Ms. Yarborough, nothing else matters, right? All right, that's what I was waiting. When you get your mind made up with MyEcon to really work, nothing else matters. They can introduce coffee to you. They can introduce a belt to you. They can introduce other nutritional products to you. They can tell you anything else, but nothing else matters when you know you got MyEcon. Amen. But I want to share with those of you who are new, who may still be getting the concept of what you are a part of. I want to share the concept of MyEcon with you and where we're going and why we're doing what we've been doing. I've been a part of MyEcon for actually the inception of the business. I started with it, but before that, I was with Mr. Ivy Stokes 2 years before that. So the entire concept and the principle of wealth building, I have been with them that long, and I am 5th generation. So those of you that are on my team, you are close to the boss man. to the founder of our company, and which has imparted a lot of knowledge in me over the years. Over these years, he and the other 4 gentlemen who work with him, Mr. Leon Gibbs, Mr. Spence LaCapra, Alvin Curry, the gentleman up in the office up there, Mr. Ed Townsend. These guys have worked untiringly with people like myself to help us build what we need in our lives to become personally, financially successful. I have done so, I believe today, have become successful because over these years I've actually cash flowed over $500,000. And I'm excited about that, okay? That's deserved. It's gonna add up, it's gonna add up. And we're not done yet, because I haven't reached that millionaire status, but hey, I got the millionaire mindset and I'm on the way, all right? And that's what we're here for in MyEcon. The name itself, MyEcon, stands for My Economy, okay? Simply because we wanted to give you a name that fits your situation. You need to understand that nothing else matters but your economy and you taking care of it. For so long, we have allowed bankers and people that we trust, people in nice fancy suits, agents and so forth, people with ATTY, period, behind their names. We have been trusted our lives and our very souls with these people, even the people that we punch the clock with. We have expected them to have our best interests at heart. And so we've given them all of our time, all of our talent, and all of our labor over the years. And then when it's time for us to retire, we don't have what we need in place if we get sick. We don't have what we need in place to be sick. And then we get disappointed over a period of time and we think that it actually happened in our household. But what happened was with us having the lack of knowledge to put things in place, okay? So our company name is very special to you so that you can understand that in all areas of perspective of your financial life, you can and you should be successful. That's why we are called the personal financial success company, because out of all of the other networking companies that impress you, that have cars to give you, that have great commercials to share with you, that have 4 or 5 bottles of this to give you, tonics and blood tonics and everything else to give you, the true financial success is not about having more money, okay? It's not about having more money. It's not about having more products. But it's about what you are making right now and what you're doing with it. Let me tell you this. If you don't believe me, then do this mental count in your head. How long have you been working? How much have you been making annually? If you multiply that by the length of time that you have been working and your bank account does not have that type of money in it, your assets does not match that times 12, then you already know that your problem is not about your present career. Your problem was about your mindset. So in MyEcon, what we have dealt with and what we have put in place is what we call a 3 smart cash flow strategy to deal with what our mission is. And our mission is very simple. It is to help people obtain personal financial success. And what we call financial success is just having enough cash flow, right, to live a comfortable lifestyle. It's like going to get your nails done and you're not missing your light bill. It's going on a trip, and it's not a 3-day, 2-day trip, but now it's a real vacation for 5 to 7 days. You can come back home and your lights are still on. You're not worried about paying the bills after you come back. You're not worried about the water being turned off. You're not worried about your insurance on your car being paid. But you've got to live a comfortable lifestyle when you have things in place. So what we do, our concept in MyEcon is very simple. We want to deal with 2 areas or 2 sources of income in your life. The first one happens to be your present income. Okay? That's why we're doing the training as we are doing it today. Because the first thing we want to address is what are you making on your job right now, and how are we going to make the most out of the money that we are making? Okay? That's why we talk about the W-4. That's why we address your tax savings. And that's why we help you minimize everything that you have going on so that you can realize more of your cash flow back into the household. Your second source is your retirement. I was watching, or I had seen a post with Warren Buffett. And one of the things that he puts on there is that he talks about not putting all of your eggs in one basket, okay? And most of us on our jobs, when it comes to retirement, if we have retirement on the job, that's the only thing that we have on is what's on the job. But we don't have diversified funds in place, and we don't even understand how much we should have in place in order for us to live successfully after we have retired from the job. The real thing is, when you leave off of your job, okay, you got to have 12 times as much the salary that you're making right now in order for you to keep the same lifestyle. Did y'all know that? You've got to. If you take an inventory of what you have right now, it just may not be in place. And that's why we are MyEcon. We are here to actually show you how to overcome problems and obstacles that many people face throughout the day. I have faced them, you face them, because we're all Americans. One of the first situations we face is inflation. Anybody remember when you could buy a Coke for 5 cents? A bottle of Coke? Maybe 10 cents? 1 cent? Did y'all ever buy any pop? And y'all ate? Okay, so you have to go up a little bit. She young. Okay, she young. So that lets y'all know that I bought a Coke at 10 cents, okay, when I was a little girl. Now we can't buy that Coke for 10 cents. But here's the real deal. The median income did not rise as fast as inflation. I gave an example to my Money Club children who are 7th and 8th graders that I'm going to give you today. I gave them some candy bars, and then I told them to act as though they had 50 cents, and the candy bar was 50 cents. Inflation increases 10% on an annual basis. So this year, they could buy their candy bar for 50 cents, right? But next year, how much is that candy bar if it increased by 10%? It's 55 cents, right? But guess what? Their income didn't change. So what happens the next year? Are they able to buy the candy bar? That's exactly where all of us have been, and we don't even know it. Our salaries haven't truly changed, but the capitalism, inflation is continuously rising, and what happens is it outrises or it raises higher than what our income is. So what happens is our income does not match inflation, and eventually we have a cliffhanger. We fall into debt, okay? We fall into high taxes, and we have the lack of knowledge on how to get out of it. But anytime that you cannot deal with inflation and your money is not growing faster than inflation, that's what you do. You start to charge and make debt. Because the only way you can have the finer things of life is that you go out and you get it on turn. Am I correct? Right. Okay, so after you get it on turn, then here's another American situation that came to trap you. They're only going to ask you, what is your gross income? They're not asking you your net income. So now you have purchased everything off of your gross income. And guess what? Now you're still in the hole. Because where you were making $40,000, taxes is taking a third of that. Now you got $27,000, and you thought when you bought that fancy car, you could pay the car note, you could get the maintenance done, and you could pay the insurance on it. So where are you now? In bankruptcy court. And some of us have been there. Anybody want to be true? I've been there. Anybody? Because see, what we do at MyEcon, we bring reality to you so that you can deal with reality in order for you to have your dreams. So this is our concept in MyEcon. Everything that we train on today, everything that we train every Monday night, everything that the One More Movement and Little Rock, everything has a purpose to get you to financial success. And the only way you can get to be personally, financially successful is that you have the proper strategies in place, okay? And our 3 smart cash flow strategy starts with what? Minimizing taxes, 2, building business income, and 3, y'all got it. Give yourselves a hand. All right, so any of you that are guests with us today, what we want you to do is get back with the person that has brought you so that we can take you farther. Because one of the things I tell in all of my financial workshops that I do, even when the churches are calling me to come and talk to them for an hour and a half, baby, it took you 15 or 20 years to get the problem that you got. So do you think you're going to get it in an hour and a half? No, you're not. You need a support team, and you need your strategy in place that's ongoing. And it doesn't matter what title you have behind your name. If you don't have what you need in place for you to retire, then you need MyEcon. All right? Thank you. Now the next part is I promise you all the time, is that I would go into, because y'all know I think I got this title, not by choice, but I got this title as the tax lady, okay? I'm more than taxes, okay? But y'all just like it so much because I study it longer than you do. But I am everyone. I'm everyone. I ain't been in this business 12 years just to know taxes, okay? But since you guys like that so much, I'm going to bring this information to you. I always promise that we will give you some tax tips. And over the years, and especially this last couple of years, I've taken a look at some of your documentation. I've recognized some of your weak areas that we can come up on when it comes to documenting our tax records, okay? I can truthfully say that I don't know why, well, I take that back. I didn't know what I was actually prophesying when I said it 12 years ago, but I said it with Ms. Lambert and Bob, who's been with me the longest. I'm trying to think of who else has been here. I think it's just these two have been with me the longest, but I used to tell them that I was John the Baptist, or we were John the Baptist. Y'all know what John the Baptist does, right? They lead the way, right? He just lead the way. Took all kinds of fights. Now, I don't want to be beheaded, but I have been on the slide beheaded, okay? On the slide, I talked about it to other people's networking businesses and so forth when I didn't understand everything. However, we always get the opportunity of trying or proving the system and knowing that it works. So today I can actually say that we had one member of our team who has actually gone through a 2-year audit. Raise your hand, Ms. Lambert, and she passed with flying colors. Y'all put your hands together. Now the reason why is because for all of these years that we've trained you on your record keeping as a home-based business owner, we actually let you know that you have over 475 tax deductions that you can take, okay? All right? We trained you to master at least 7 of those deductions, and you can realize over $20,000 worth of deductions or more if you're wise to use wisdom. The one thing that happens with taxes is that, and how you're going to write things off, is that you individually have to set in place what you're going to do and how much you need. And we're not going to go over all of that because I've done some of it on phone training and some of the setup meetings already. However, what we do want to do is make mention more of auditing proof techniques that you can use when you're doing it. Let me say this in there, not to be mean, but some of you get excited over the fact that you have the opportunity to have a home-based business and take deductions, but you don't put your record keeping in place. And then you wait for either me or your tax preparer when it comes to your taxes to put them in place for you. Can I say that ain't gonna happen? Not the right way. Because me, I don't know what you need. You, by the time a whole 12 months go by, you don't know what you need to do. So little by little, year by year, you get better. But as Ms. Yarbrough has said earlier, it takes training. It takes a commitment. One very testimony to doing the opposite, taking on this arrogant attitude about taxes, is that we did have an associate who did. But when it came time to be audited, they didn't like it. I didn't like it either, because they didn't have anything in place. But I can remember the conversation saying, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. When I was questioning, do you have this in place? Do you have that in place? And so forth. And I was told, oh yeah, I'll cross that bridge when I get there, real arrogant. Well, when the bridge came, but nobody crossed it. I'm a real kind of person, right? So if you're gonna take real deduction, you can't have an attitude about it because IRS is real, but they not scared. It's just something you must do, okay? Yes.
My question is about, let's say you're trying to keep your records. Let's say, for instance, I have one, like, I have a receipt, which I purchased, multiple things on that particular receipt. But I need to take certain things off that particular receipt and write those particular things down. What process would I go through?
Okay, whatever was pertaining to business, you log it into your cash flow manager. And you write your notation as to what that was for. If you bought ink on the same day that you bought hair grease, then you write the ink and how much it costs. As a supply, you list it under the category and you put it in there and you save your receipt. I circle mine or highlight mine, and also you can capture the receipt on your cash flow manager and keep it in your record. Okay, so it's very simple to do. If you can, you want to purchase a separately because of taxes and so forth, and you can work that out, but because you take the whole thing of it right off. But if you don't, just highlight that and put it in your cash flow manager. Okay?
In other words, highlight it, am I going to take the actual value of it? So
Yeah.
let's say it's $5, then I'm going to put that and total everything up together.
Right.
And I won't have to worry about making the tax. I'm guessing what I'm saying, even though I purchased it for a lot of stuff, I won't have to worry about the tax.
Right, right.
Okay.
Absolutely correct. Good question, because that's the only tip that y'all gonna get today is about documentation and receipts. Because I have a lot of questions about receipts. I didn't keep the receipt, so I can't use the receipt. And I brought these books because everybody in this room should have these 2 books. Everybody should have these books, okay? I don't want to stand up here like a tax guru to you, because this information comes from training, outside training, it comes from webinars, and it comes from this book, okay? And anything that you need to find about your taxes and whether or not it qualifies, I promise you it's in the book. This right here is a category, so it more than likely show you where it goes, okay? And what category. This one right here actually shares with you how to make it happen. That's why this one is good. And this one, you guys, y'all got the older one. This is just the updated one, okay? It's updated, that's all. And there are a few things that I think changed when I compared it to my other one. So you want to get the updated 2015 because tax laws changed. But let me share with you about receipts, okay? Receipts are not necessary. Let me tell you this, there's a great receipt rule. You do not need receipts for any travel expenses under $75 per expense. That not only goes for travel, but that will go for food, meals that you have, okay? That will also go for gas, okay? So some of you are missing valuable deductions because you think that you don't have a receipt for every one of them, but what you need to do is document the activity. I'm summarizing what's out of here. Just document the activity, but don't lose the deduction. Okay, so say you went and you purchased gas. It's not over $75, right? So you enter your gas under transportation gas in our cash flow manager. That's it. You put how much it was. Okay? That's simple. Yes, sir.
I don't have to have I remember one time we were doing like, when you take documentation, you're actually really writing out something to let you know whatever year that you spent. In other words, you keep it in a
Get into the notation. Because the same thing is mileage, and this is the next thing. I'm going to move to that because that is great. I love your question. This must be the Holy Ghost. We connected this morning. Because you guys need to note better, okay? So your receipts on travel, meals, and gas, $75 or under. If you miss keeping the receipt, you guys, just notate it in your cash flow manager and you're good. Okay? Does that make sense? I do not want y'all losing deductions because of that. Because I hear people all the time say, I didn't keep the receipt, so I didn't use it. They will allow a per diem for more than truck drivers. RS, it's in here. You guys get the book. Go read it in detail. But there's a per diem per day when you are self-employed that the government will look at. One is $39 and the other one is $49. Okay? So if you address it, here's the only warning sign. It's notation. They will not allow incidentals without notation. Okay? So you can't wait to be audited and then decide, yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Yes.
I wanted to give a brief testimony. My husband and I traveled extensively, and we kept all of our stuff on the Cashflow manager. So when we took our receipt, or not receipt, but we took our print off from the Cashflow manager to our tax preparer, we got back over $2,000 more in income tax than what we got last year. And it didn't just add up my mileage, but it added up all the money we've been paying to all the church. You understand what I'm saying? Can I say this? Which gave us $20,000 in deduction. Because we were able to keep up with everything. And that was all, you know, thank the Lord for the cash flow.
Amen. Yes. Yes. Well, so her. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Sure, that's fine.
Okay. I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't think I had it on the Cashflow manager, but I'm good at documenting. So after I lost my job and I had to go to the hospital and I didn't have time to get my tax bill, I asked for extension. Now I knew this information, but I was good at documenting. So I went to my tax preparer. She told me, she said, well, Mary, must pay the IRS $1,200. I said, they'll just allow me to get my tax return. So when I went to that, I gathered up all this information. I couldn't remember what they did with my student loan. I knew I could get the interest. So I called the student loan people and I told them, this is by email. I called tax process. Can I get this by email? Or you need to get it printed out? So I emailed her. She said, good. So it went from $1,200 down to nothing to $49 back. And then I got more from the state. I was thank you, Jesus. But just the documentation, that's the key.
One last thing, I'm trying to stay on task. One last thing that I want to tell you is that she said documentation is the key. When you note things, okay, and let me summarize it for you, and then I can say it in there. In summary, here's what he says in his book. Keep a good diary. Hire your spouse or significant friend. Okay, this is when you want to take travels and so forth. So you hire them to work for you. You want to know how? Get your book, okay? Take your business card for family travel. Track your lodging and meal expenses. That just simply means put them in on your records. Take courses on U.S. cruise ships. I'm just giving y'all a hint because some of y'all like cruising. All right, this book tells you just how to do it. Make your weekend deductible. Remember we talked about? Okay. Count travel days as business days. If you're getting from one location to the next, if you can't write it out when you get there, and you got to take 2 days to get there and then one, that's your 3 days, overnight trip. Combine your fun with a business day without losing any deductions. Attend a convention or seminar. When it comes to auditing, one of the things they're looking at is how much are you participating to learn what you're doing as it to be a business and not a hobby. I know we get on your nerves. I know group me blinging and getting on y'all nerves. But you can take screenshots and show that you're a part of a conversation. You get emails. The emails I send y'all, it's not just I can notate myself. I'm trying to help y'all. You can be printing out your email. You can have a conversation back with me on email that you can print out and put in your record. This is what Ms. Lambert did. Okay? Stuff like that is what went in with her auditing, okay? being a part. You can show activity in your business, all right? And then we got our telephone. Telephone. You can show a telephone record if you needed to, that you get on those calls whenever necessary. Coming to seminars, this is a training. You got your login sheet, your receipt. You can use that. If you need to back up, I'll send it out by email. Okay? Notation. Caretake, visit colleagues and improve your skills and get referrals. In other words, when they used to be friends, they're not friends anymore, they're colleagues.
Right.
And we're picking up referrals from our colleagues. So this is how, now listen, all of this terminology needs to be notated in your documentation. Instead of just saying, I went to meet Flora. You think that was passing the audit?
No.
I went to meet my business colleague or colleague and obtain referrals. Prospecting. During the course of, finish that. Who did you prospect with? Okay? Anytime you're taking it's not a reunion anymore, but a business trip, it should be pre-arranged. So some of you don't like flyers and business cards. You better hire somebody and write it off. Get you a flyer taken care of. Miss Ollie did that on one of her daughter got married, right? She pre-arranged the cashback mall presentation at the wedding, so that she was able to write that activity off. Okay? Those things are your notations in your, that's what's happening. Pre-arranged seminar. Pre-arranged meeting with Timbuktu to present the daily ultimate or whatever. Y'all got that? One of the ones I really want y'all to get is wages. When it comes to wages and hiring your children or hiring your grandchildren or contract labor. I use my grandchildren. I don't give them mine all the time, but when I do, they contract labor. Okay? So I've contracted Braylon to enter receipts into my cash, into the cash flow manager. $75. Write it off. If I purchase something for my children, I am not purchasing, in my notation, it is not Old Navy. Purchase clothes at Old Navy. Do y'all think that's so bad? All I want y'all to do is think. Okay, according to, use the publication information. The publication on wages tell us that we can hire our children and we can compensate them with non-wage awards and bonuses and so forth, right? So when you notate that $500 bonus as a non-wage salary for Billy Bob, see employee contract. And you should have an employee contract. And we talked about that before. There's an example in the book. Yes.
Since you was talking about clothes, if you were buying them for yourself, how would you write that in there?
Clothes are not necessarily a write-off for you.
Okay.
They have to be a MyEcon, a shirt. There's a fine line between clothing and uniform. You can't just write off a bunch of clothes that you can wear in the street. They have to be working clothes. And you have to be very tight with that. I wouldn't write off $2,000 worth of clothes a year. Okay? Yes, ma'am. Somebody write that down on paper, Tasha, and say it for her. I mean, she really can't. Any other questions before we get out of here? Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Well, I just had a question about what you said, she was traveling out of town, and we get more travel for being, get more for being out of town. You pay more money.
Okay, when it's overnight, you guys need to make a distinction between your business day and business overnight. Okay, there's a different percentage for your meals and entertainment when it's done within a run of a day, or when it's done overnight, okay? When you're taking mileage, just regular mileage for traveling and working within a business day, you cannot write off the gas with it. But if you were traveling to stay somewhere overnight, then you would write off the gas and the mileage. So you need to log it under travel, mileage, travel, gas. And I think in our Cashflow Manager, it has travel other. So go make you another tab to put that in there. Maybe that's just something, I mean, they can't do everything for us, so it's just something he missed out on. Yeah, just go in there and change the travel overnight or travel gas, or maybe note in it. I kind of like it, gas, if I'm doing y'all taxes, right? Because I have to read y'all notes and figure stuff out. Yes. Yes.
She bought 2 shirts to put her business name with the MyEcon logo on cash right now.
Absolutely correct. Yes. Now that can be written off because that's business type. All right. Any other questions? Y'all feel better? It gets better. It gets better. As the years go by, you get better. And promise you, as you start losing deductions, child tax credit, start losing children earn income credit, and so forth, you're going to feel like doing MyEcon. When you retire, you're going to feel like it. Okay? Because other than that, you're going to be spending more money. All right, God bless. That's all I'm going to do. Let me explain what's happening next. What I thought I had time to do in 30 minutes was your cash flow strategy. How many of you have gone to your website and have actually, okay, write this down. Because this is why we're doing the next presentations like this. Our cash flow strategy sets our goals and directions for our finances. When you log into your back office, look under tools, and the cash flow strategy is there. It will interview you from your goals, 1 to 10, from retirement to debt, that's your debt elimination, to taxes, and even set your retirement goal, minimizing expenses, okay? That is so important to your financial profile. That's number 1 that you get done. Every MyEcon should have their cash flow strategy taken care of. And it's going to change depending on your situation, as you pay off debt and so forth. So the next presentations that come forward are your intentions to help you with your financial profile, putting them in place in what direction you will be going in, okay? From retirement all the way up to minimizing expenses to income shifting. So I want to put your mindset as to how this training is going to help you out, okay? Also, the last thing, go to your website, period. How many of y'all go to y'all website? At least once every week. Okay. Y'all get well addressed? Yeah. I see him in the back going. Gotta say. Only way you're gonna know what you have and the value of it and learn it is that you go to it. Here's my irritation. To hear a MyEconer who says they don't know what they do and cannot defend their business because they really don't know. Remember she talked about competition? And there's a lot of people there's a lot of competitive networking businesses out there. And I don't care to fight because it is what it is. I am what I am. God led me to MyEcon, and I don't change my testimony like some people do. But if you don't do it, you don't know. You don't know your products and services. It is an income-producing website. If you haven't introduced it to anybody, you can't make no money off of it. So yes, your testimony to the outside is, I don't make no money. You sure don't, because you don't do nothing. And don't nobody know what you have. So if you're going to make money, on your website, if you're going to manage your money and become personally financially successful, you got to go out to what you're paying $29.95 a month for. So what if you were audited? Could you defend your business deductions with the auditor? No. Y'all would call Clarissa Pay, and I ain't going to defend it for you. Because I can only defend Chicago Credit. I can't help y'all with RS. You have to help yourself. Remember, the burden of proof goes back to you. So if you don't understand and your testimony is negative or you cannot defend it, it is because you're not doing your part. And that's accountability on you as an associate and a business owner. Touch yourself and say, I am a business owner. So I must carry myself as a business owner. God bless you. The next speaker we're going to have is Ms. Blueberry. This is the Executive Vice President. She's going to talk to us about retirement.
Okay, look at those faces. Oh, you know I'm a walker. Okay, walk right here. Hey. Okay. All right. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Hey, man. Oh, that's great. Seeing all these beautiful faces this morning. So you want to retire? How many here want to retire? One day, yeah. That should be a goal. You want to retire. You see, you dream about it. You think about it. There's one of your goals. Here we go. Okay. What does retirement mean? Okay.
Keep pushing.
Pushing. Okay. To retire means to rest. Put that in mind. To rest. Yeah. That's it. Okay. To retire means that you are no longer obligated to perform a particular task. This soak in. To retire means to be able to pursue options. Listen to these words. Rest, not obligated, options. The opportunity to change career. Sometimes we have been at a state long enough and it's time to retire. But what you must do is face some facts concerning retirement. You must face reality. So one day, whether you that's in your goal at this moment or not, you are going to retire. It's either going to be voluntarily or involuntarily. What I mean by that, sometimes we think we have forever. I found out over the years why there's such a stigma on growing older or getting older. But how many know sometimes you end up in retirement due to health issues and other situations. So it's not always an age thing that calls you to retire. Financial security in retirement doesn't just happen. It takes planning. Ms. Page mentioned the cash flow strategies that we have on our website. You have the opportunity to go in and plan. Retirement security doesn't just happen, it takes planning. A few years ago, about 15 years ago, I decided that I need to start looking at some things seriously.
It's always in your mind when you are employed that one day you will no longer be on this particular job. You always knew that there was going to be a change in your finance, but have you really sat down and looked at the situation? One day I was sitting in my living room watching Good Morning America, and they was talking about owning a home-based business and how this family was able to, this woman was able to support her husband, help their income by working from her home. They could not afford child care because they had 2 children. And I began to watch that, and I knew our children were getting older, and I knew that we was no longer going to have these deductions, that type of thing. That is the reason I began to look at it. But more and more as I began to listen, began to read, and I worked for the Department of Human Services for 23 years, and sitting there and seeing these people come in, their situation began to ding on me. You better start thinking. You better start planning. So that is when I got involved with MyEcon. Not very many people desire to work a full-time job forever. Some people love working. I love working. But I like to work smart and not hard. I told, no, I can't tell you. I need to. Oh. Somebody said that when they left their job wasn't going to owe them nothing. They're going to need some change of it. Retirement should be enjoyable, not stressful. But how many, I can tell you the number of people who came into my office who was in retirement either due to age or due to health issues, who was stressful. They had to decide on whether or not they were going to eat or buy their medicine, whether or not they were going to keep warm during the winter. One woman said that her breakfast every morning consisted of a bowl of oatmeal and occasionally a piece of toast. She could not afford. And then people, if you do not know, the United States is one of the most blessed countries in the world because so many countries do not cater towards the elderly. And we are nothing to brag about. In this sense, when you become aged, then benefits changes. Your income changes. So that is the reason we're saying plan. That is the reason you're going to hear that word so often, plan. What do you want your retirement years to look like? You have to decide, what do you want your retirement years to look like? Do you want to be that person whose breakfast consists of just the oatmeal? Or, as I said in the beginning, do you want to have options? My goal was to have options, and I'll be the first to say that I hit the ground running late. But thank God, my husband did a little bit better. Now, I'm going to tell you, I caught up. But thank God that because of where I worked, and because of what I saw, and because of what I knew, caused me to do some things, to do some catching up. People, it is not too late, but you better start. You cannot depend on the government. You better not depend on your family. Oh, Lord.
You better pack your bag now if you think that's gonna happen. You better get your act together. That means you better find how MyEcon can help you. I began to implement my goals, my strategy, save. I don't want to get ahead of myself. First of all, you got to decide. You know what? You may want, which is nothing wrong. This reason is an individual thing. You may want a one-room home. That's fine. You may want a condo. You may want, I know this fabulous man and wife who has this, what you call this, they travel with this RV. Yeah, they travel all over. They don't own a home, like standard home. What do you want your retirement to look like? And then you have to plan around that. Don't be influenced by someone else. My goals are not your goals, and your goals are not my goals. How do I get there? Decide how you want to live during your retirement live. Assess your situation. I began to assess my situation. I knew that my husband and I will be retiring pretty much at the same time. I retired December 2012, and he retired March of last year. So we began to assess our situation. We looked at whether or not we were going to have a mortgage, look at whether or not it's going to be car payment, look at your debt situation. You have to assess your situation, and you have to plan accordingly. I will tell you now, do not go into retirement with debt. Don't go into retirement with a lot of debt. Your income will be cut 40%. You used to making $50,000, get ready to live off much less. And then Social Security, I'll read you something in a minute, was designed years ago to help aged individuals, retired individuals, to support their lifestyle. 50 years ago, $8,000 perhaps was okay. But how many know that won't go very far now? So retirement is only a supplement, which means that you better have something else in place. This particular lady says that she was talking about her mom and dad. She was saying that her dad still worked at age 85 in his walnut orchard at age 85 here, to help support the income that her mom was receiving, which was a Social Security check of $1,154 for two people. She didn't say anything about why he wasn't receiving Social Security. And you do know it based upon your amount, based upon your work years, your quarters, and all of that type of thing. So sometimes when people did not work a W-2 job, a lot of times that affects how much you're going to be able to receive in Social Security benefits. So don't depend upon that. Don't think, sometimes people get in the mindset that, oh, I'm going to retire, I'm not going to do anything, I'm just draw Social Security, whatever. That comes with some planning. $1,200 don't go very far if you got car payment, mortgage, that type of thing. So set realistic goals. I want to be debt-free when I retire. Or I want to be
my mortgage be paid off. Or I have 2 years left on my car. Set realistic goals. Formulate a plan. On your business website, you have a plan. It asks you what your retirement goals, asks you what you want to do, tell you about saving. You have a plan. Print it out. It asks you work that plan, pay off those bills, that type of thing. Go back and change the number. But the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, you better do something. We will not live forever. Begin working that plan. We heard it all morning long. It's good to get excited. It's good to be motivated. But when you leave this building, when you sit in there from day to day, what are you doing? You must work your plan. Do your homework. Do some reading. We have been encouraged today. Get your books. Don't take what we say. Go to IRS.gov. Look at some things. I'm going to tell you, picking up on part of what she said about the audit, it was so important that we have done our homework. It was so important that we read and we researched, knew how to word, knew how to package what they were looking for. We just can't take things for granted. What are some options? Since we know that we're working now, that one day we will retire, what are the options? Begin saving on a regular basis. Oh, I don't have nothing to save. You can start with that jar of pennies. You can make up in your mind, if I have $20, I'm going to put 5 in savings. Get yourself in a habit of doing something. Just start somewhere. Start looking at some options. If you're on a job that have a 401k plan, begin to contribute to that plan. Do you know what? It was after I joined, became a part of MyEcon that I began to invest. My job was investing in me, but I wasn't investing in myself. Thank God my husband, because they had changed some things for the federal government. That's another thing. We both work government jobs. But don't get hung up on that. That's during your working years. You'll find out some hardcore facts when you come to retirement. Your insurance, all kinds of stuff, people change it. You must make plans for that. If you're a type of person that you're on medication, a lot of medication, now you have health issues, begin to plan for that. Consider investing. That is the fastest way to get a return in your money now, late in the game. Start investing. Social Security and other income, different plans, they're good. You need those. Plan on in addition to those things. Because here, this woman, please, she's talking about the possibility of Social Security being depleted. The United States can afford, she said, can afford to keep Social Security strong. And we must, not just for today's retirees, but for young people in future generations. But there's no guarantee. So if there is no Social Security, what next? What's then? So we know to start looking at that. Ask questions. Don't give up the good life just because you retire. I hate people to say, oh, you know, I'm retired. I'm on a fixed income. I can't. Oh, woe is me. Not me. I am retired. And I have options. Thank God for options. I can decide on whether or not I want to do something differently because the Lord blessed us to be able to do some things. Now,
like I said, you have to decide what you want your retirement to look like. Now, if you want to live on the hill and do all this, you have to plan for it. But it may take a whole lot less for me. It will take money to live. It's simple as that. If you live in this world, and please don't go to China because they have no sympathy for their age people. They don't care one way or the other. So you better stay here. But if you're here in the United States, I'm going to tell you, it's going to take money to live. Now, where that money comes from is going to be up to you. Begin planning early. The sooner you begin saving, the more time your money will have time to grow. And you're going to find out something about that later. Mr. Chris is going to bring reality to you. What will your retirement years look like? Will you be on the beach, be able to go take a trip every now and then? Yeah. All right. Your money going to be back with you? Or you going to be able to see baby? Just what will it look like? So, it's up to you, the individual, to be able to, whoa, woo! Will your retirement look like these things? So you can remain useful and beautiful. And that was the kid anyway, but I she playing that. She met my son. But are there any questions? Any questions? And one thing I want to say, sometimes people, when I be prospecting, people say things like, I'm retired. Can I be in business and be retired? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Matter of fact, you are a prime candidate to be a part of the business. Why? It's a supplement to your income. Plus, the benefits such as the deductions, that type of thing, will offset any type of taxes that you may have on your retirement benefits that you're already receiving. Consult your local Social Security office and find out. Sometimes they say you can make up to $15,000, $20,000 a year, and it does not affect your Social Security benefits. You call and find out what it is that you can make. But you don't have to sit down and dry up just because you're retired. Enjoy the good life.
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, suppose that you don't get a chance to get your retirement. But the reason why I asked that question is because I just buried my sister yesterday. And when we were trying to get her on retirement, they told her she wasn't going to be able to drop her money. Told her to come back when she turned 65. But she didn't get a chance to make it to 65. She was 62. But she said, like I said, just buried her yesterday.
Mine.
So all them years she worked at that nursing home just went down the drain.
Right.
She was there 25.
Okay. Certain jobs, or when you say, are you talking about Social Security or from retirement from a job?
Social Security.
Social Security, right. That is correct. And if you can retire, if you work certain amount of years and you reach a certain age, you can retire as early as 65. Are you covering that, Marshall?
It's a part of my presentation, but I just wanted to possibly suggest that you mentioned 62, and 62 is like a magical age. Social Security is very specific in the age range. I gotta do certain within certain time. And if you don't meet the deadline of a time, you will have to wait 6 months or a year because you didn't meet that time frame as for
Okay.
That's how I read it.
What you said, how old was
Oh, she was 62, but the problem was she had cancer.
she? Okay.
And I feel like they should have did something, you know.
Okay, let me mention this from work. We can't get to 50. If you are, like I said, you can draw Social Security as early as, well, no, that's retirement, as early as 65. But Social Security is 62. As early as 62, you can draw Social Security. It will may not be, let me tell you the difference. At 62, they may say you are eligible for $1,000. If you were to wait till 65, you'll draw $1,200. If you wait till 70, be $1,250. It's just that amount. You might get a few $100s more for waiting another 3. But at 62, you could have been able to draw. And once you begin to draw, then they set a stipulation in the event of death, who else can be the beneficiary of it. Yes, ma'am.
I think that's one of the good things about MyEcon, getting this tax line, so that when you do go to an office like that, if someone, a lot of times you deal with customer service agents and people who are in places that, one, don't care, two, don't know, and then tell you something and you walk out the door. If you have that education for yourself, then you can stand firm on, no, this is what I know. Get me your supervisor or somebody who knows it as well, so that I can do what I need to do.
And that is correct. I would say that when I was, another thing in planning to retire, I reviewed my wages, I reviewed my retirement portfolio, and I knew something was missing, and I began the process of recouping some wages when I worked for the Employment Security Division. But make a long story short, I had to go to Social Security. And when I went there and inquired as to what I need to do, one gave me this form and said, well, just fill this out and come back. I said, okay. But I went to my car and I began to look over it, because one thing, when I worked for the Employment Security Division, some things I knew. Working for DHS, some things I knew. And I knew this wasn't right. What did I do? Did I leave? No. I went back into that office and said, ma'am, this is not what I need. Oh, yes, it is, because we don't have a And as she was talking to me, another worker was walking through, and she stood there. And I began to, again, address what I was trying to do. And so this other worker walked up to her, she said, yeah, no, that's not right. You need to go to this and talk to. Oh, I didn't know. I know. When did we get this? I know here. She's over here. Whenever they do this. So don't be afraid. If you not go somewhere else. Ask some questions. And be sure to don't give up. Do your research. And like I said, everybody's situation is different, but explore some things. Don't give up. Thank you.
All right, you guys, I want to read this. I got this in, and if everybody will say hi, Andre. Hi. Andre is in Germany, and he is watching us today. And put your hands together for Andre. Come around and show him the thing. But he wrote this to us. He said, presentation looks good over here. Oddly enough, even though I cannot see the slides, the content that everyone has been presenting has more than compensated for this. It has been over an hour, and it seems like time has just flown by. Feels like I have been watching this only for a few minutes. And then I told him I was going to read it to you all. And he wrote back and said, you have a very strong team, proud to be a part of it. Well, I think we'll have give a hand for guys, while she's passing it out, do y'all want to use the bathroom or get something to drink and then get back in place? Let's do it quick.
Okay, we want to take a break.
I'm the original man.
What's wrong?
Y'all ain't got about 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Oh.
You all, I asked the question as to, where you can buy your tax books. If you go to your website, log into the back office, you can go to your cash flow manager. Cashback model, I'm sorry.
They didn't have it when I bought mine.
It's several bookstores out there. So it's on which bookstore? Book World.
Avery.
Book World, listen, if you go to your cashback mall, go on the book, you go to bookworld.com. Or you can search in just books. There's more than one website on there. So you guys have to search the one that has. And the reason I suggest this is because you get paid cash back for using your mom. Okay, so we can buy them and you can pay us, but I don't want you to do that. I want you to make change. Or get used to using your own cashback mall. So go back to your cashback mall and you can find all the material things that we're talking about today. All right, I'm going to turn this over. Let me introduce Marshall properly. Marshall is actually a very good friend of mine from when I first moved to Monticello. Been here since 1984, when the babies were born, right? Our kids about the same age and everything. And this past December, right after the promotion, she saw the day after, she saw the value of MyEcon, and she went ahead and paid her entire $179.99. I looked up and I had a new member. How about that? She wasn't waiting on that $10, and she moved forward. Since I met her, she is insurance, she is athletic, she is burial, she is everything. And she's an outstanding young lady that I had an opportunity to be friends with and now be back partnered with. So I want y'all to be good to her, be nice, but she's going to talk to us about our insurance. Put your hands together for Marshall.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Let me just say I'm a little nervous, not because I don't speak in front of crowds and that kind of thing. I have, but this is my first time speaking on behalf of MyEcon. And so it's my first time, so I just want you guys to be gentle with me and all of that kind of good stuff. Can I get an amen? I'm just checking what my amen point is because, you know, when you speak to people, one of the things you do is find out where somebody's being kind and smiling at you. You kind of focus on them to kind of make the thing go a little bit easier. I know the strategy. Okay, and as Miss Faye says, I've been knowing her since I was 17. And then, you know, our kids are around the same age, and I've always been impressed by what she's been involved in. Because even back then, 16, 15, we were all about progress, and we were all about knowing, we were all about getting educated, even then long before we knew of MyEcon. And that's one of the things that I say about people who aspire to be great is that they're ever learning. Right. You don't ever reach a ceiling on information. So with that being said, I want to make sure you all know that I do not stand before you as an expert. But one of the things that we want to do is just expose you to some information. And then you go and do the research and we all learn together. Can we agree with that?
Yeah.
All right, so as she's indicated, I work with AFLAC, and some of the things that I'm able to do is, of course, AFLAC and American Memorial Life, they're both Fortune 500 companies. And they're all in the Business Week, and they're A-rated and those types of things. I'm pretty sure if you hadn't heard of AFLAC, you saw the duck, right? Yeah. Everybody knows the duck. And so those are some of the policies and things that I'm able to do: the cancer, the major illness, health, dental, vision, life, whole life, and term life. And I also work with American Memorial Life Insurance Company. That is through a company through SCI. SCI is the largest funeral service in North America. They have more than 22 locations. And what that means, just to kind of put it in everyday terms, is that one of the things we can do that maybe local organizations can't do is your policies can be transferable working with that company. And for example, my son lives in Denver. Of course, I'm going to purchase this policy down here in Arkansas because, you know, it's going to be a lot more economical for us to do that, and then he can just transfer that policy out to Denver. One of the things that MyEcon teaches us is to be wise about our money. Is that correct?
Right.
So with this American Memorial Life, that's in Little Rock, Arkansas, and I work with Griffin Leggett. They were merged in with SCI back in January last year, I believe it was. So, and let me say on the loss of your sister, was it? I'm very sorry for your loss. People really don't know about, you know, when you get into that area, how devastating that can be. Financially, emotionally, spiritually, any other way you can think of. I'm going to talk a little bit about that just shortly. I don't have a lot of time, so when I was asked to stand before you and talk about insurance, insurance is fast. And so it took me a couple of weeks to kind of try to narrow some things down and see what I want to share with you all. And so with that being said, if there's any questions, you guys can feel free to ask me afterwards. Set up an appointment, I'll be happy to talk with you. But one of the things I started with was defining insurance. You can insure just about anything. Right. Anything can pretty much be insured. So I started out saying, let's say, what is insurance? Insurance, it transfers the risk of loss from an individual or business entity to an insurance company, okay? And that in turn spreads the loss across the board to many individuals. So that's all that insurance means. It's taking the risk of a loss and spreading it out so that people can manage the business. Now, when you talk with different people about insurance, one of the things you want to keep in mind is that different states have different rules. So if you're talking with somebody in Texas and you're saying, I could do this or that or whatever with whatever the insurance company, but you can't do it, keep in mind that they're governed by different states. So one of the things you want to keep in mind, if you're having a problem with any of your insurance or what have you, this is our governing body for the state of Arkansas. That's their contact information and that is their numbers. And I passed out handouts because I don't necessarily trust our technology because I don't use it very well. So you have that information in your handout, so you don't really have to record it unless you just want to. But that is our governing body of insurance for the state of Arkansas. That's their contact information. So what do we want to do first is we're going to talk about the types and purposes of insurance. Do you have insurance? Why would you need insurance? And then why did you buy the insurance? How much coverage do you need? Is that insurance on the job, or do you have the insurance off the job? What's the advantages of having the insurance on the job or not? If you lose your current employment, would you be insured? And on that, I'm really talking about not just your health insurance, but your life insurance. Your, you know, all the various things that come with having that job and the benefits that is extended to you as far as on having insurance. So, you know, there are pros and cons to having your insurance connected with your place of employment. And then the age factor. Is it a factor at 65 and 100? One of the things about insurance is very specific. If you get a policy, that policy should list what you have, what's available to you, what's excluded from it. And I want to stick a pin right there and just say to you, don't take what your agent says. You ask a question. They say, oh, it's implied. You don't have to worry about it. No, it's not listed. No, that policy is very specific. And that's what you go by. If there's something on there that's telling you that you're eligible for, but you don't see it in writing, then it's not covered. Wow. It's just that simple. So, and that comes into, have you had your policies evaluated by a professional? And then what you want to know is, who is a professional? Okay? And then, what was the purpose of the insurance? And I just listed a few. I mean, it's, like I said, it's huge. It took me a long time to try to figure out what I want to talk about, but these are just some of them. Of course, to insure auto, and by law, we're supposed to have a minimum requirement for automobiles to be covered. Did you know you can insure your pet? I have a coworker who, he does the insurance for the pets, the dogs, the cats, and all that kind of good stuff. Of course, your RV homeowners and renter property is huge. Then you get into your life insurance, your whole life and your term, and we'll talk about that. Of course, your burial, health, dental, and vision, travel protection. I was in Jamaica in September, and I went there with my son who was going to propose to his fiancée, and we were on a very popular spot that's called Dunn's Fall, if you've ever heard about it. And it's actually like a little waterfall. And one of the things that they like to do is they record you. You have a chain link, and you're going up, climbing these rocks up this waterfall. Water is coming down. And it's supposed to be all fun and this, that, and the other. You guys see, I'm not exactly healthy. But so we were going up Dunn's Fall, and one of the things that I didn't do, I didn't purchase the travel protection. So I'm standing in there in this line, going up Dunn's Fall with my son and the other parties, and I was thinking, what if something happens to me? What if I fall on one of these rocks and break my leg? Or die, whatever the case may be. I'm standing in this line, and that's what I'm thinking. And so I told the guy, I was like, listen, because I was smart. I was like, look, I'm getting out of this line, and I'm going to go stand over here. They can go up this fall because, you know, it was challenging because you couldn't really see in the water. So you're trying to step over these rocks, trying to climb up to the top. He was kind, and he recorded me, so I was still a part of the video. But I got out of that little fall, but it was really fun. But I want to talk to you just a second about travel protection. Do you not know that when you travel, if something happens to you, it can really wreck your vacation? Because all I was thinking about, okay, I'm in Jamaica. If I break my leg, then I have to get an ambulance of some sort to take me back to the cruise ship. Then from the cruise ship, if I'm really, really seriously bad, they're going to have to probably airlift me from the cruise ship, try to get me back to the States and all this kind of stuff. And if I die, it's even worse. If you don't know, with travel protection, even if I was in Texas and something happened to me, it can cost up to $5,000. And that's not on top of your regular expenses that you're going to have to do to get you back to your loved ones so they can handle things. So travel protection is really, really huge. And I want to put a plan over here also on key persons. And every time I talk about key person insurance, I think of people like Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston. But their companies can insure them as a key person. And for you all who don't know who they are, I don't know who Michael Jackson is, but let's use Clarissa Pace. Clarissa Pace will be a key person in her business. Why? Because she has the knowledge and the expertise. Would her business partner, husband, or children, if something happened to her, know how to continue on with her business? I think it would come to a grinding halt if something were to happen. No offense, Mr. Ray. No offense to her business associates in her business. But one thing about key persons, a they're gonna get a financial windfall because they know their business is gonna suffer if that key person was not available to do what needed to happen done. So with Michael Jackson and all this, and with the conspiracies on their murder, I always think of that, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, who knows. But that's key person insurance. So there's a lot of different areas as far as that you can see with this work on insurance. So let's do a brief exercise. Take your piece of paper that I can pass out to everyone, and just for like a minute or so, you can write on the back of your paper. It's on the very back sheet of the empty space if you want to do that, or out to the side if you want to. I want you to list off the top of your head, it doesn't have to be correct, what are the various types of insurance do you have? What type of insurance do you have? And because I left that other screen, here's some examples in case you need to look and see what's the name. Do you have auto insurance? Do you have health? And while you're writing that down, how much coverage do you have? How much coverage do you have? Do you have life insurance? If you have life insurance, is that life insurance whole? Is it time? Do you have enough coverage? Okay? Is that insurance supplemental? Supplemental will be an example of that. Okay? And then what you want to look at is what kind of company is it? Is it like, for example, State Farm? Is it Modern Women's of America? Who, by the way, is a fraternity. They're not the same governing body as State Farm is. But that's another subject. I don't want to go into that because I only got 30 minutes, so I'm trying to stay within my time frame. Yeah.
That's one of my questions. I did have a tax file that had
Modern Women's of America.
and I need to talk to you about this.
Okay, so that exercise is really just for you. How much coverage do you have? Why did you put it in place? Was it by law, or you really wanted to have it? And that's an example of auto. They tell us that had a legal liability. Who is your provider? Providers like State Farm, Modern Woodson. What is their history? Are they? Here's the reason why I asked that question. Can we remember Katrina?
Right.
And all those people who had insurance? And what happened with that? And were they a good friend or not? I don't want to start saying the logos. There's no those slogans that they have for that. But you guys get my point. Who is the agent for that? Do you know their name and number? Can you list it off the top of your head? Do they respond to you when you have questions? Are they ethical? Another
Before
question.
you go in further, and see a lot of those, because I worked a lot of the Katrina
Mm-hmm.
victim situation. See, let's go back to knowing your policy.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's flood or whether it's tornado or whether or not disaster caused by lightning,
Right.
all those
Right.
things.
Was it wind? Was it an earthquake? Did it tree hopping? Did it technicality? Exactly. And remember what I said, if it's not written in there, it doesn't apply. They don't have to pay if it's not written in there. If there's an exclusion or whatever the case may be. And here's an example of an exclusion, because my son was an idiot. He's doing things he didn't have any business on my car auto. He's excluded from my policy from here on out. I'll pass it out that because now I have a real legitimate reason. No, you cannot drive my car. But okay, here's another section. Who are your beneficiaries on your policy? Did you list them? Or when you were filling out the paperwork, you said, oh, I don't know, I'll get back to that. But you filled out for that policy 20 years ago. Have you went back to evaluate who that is? Maybe that's passed on. Changes.
Because when my mom died, it was at the bank, we had to let money go. She didn't have anyone listed as a beneficiary on her account. So there was anything to give her money.
Exactly that.
That was at the bank, so you even need to make sure your beneficiary is listed as a bank on your account.
It
So again, my little purpose is just a little wake-up call. It's not anything magical or anything like that. So here's another area. Where are your policies? If something were to happen to you, do your family know where they are? Do they know how to access them? You know, that's another important concern. My mom and I were attending a funeral in Missouri a few years back. It was late at night. We just got there at 12 o'clock at night, and she got a call, and her husband had died in a car accident. So we're in Missouri, trying to, when you doing a funeral, you only have so many days. We're trying to make arrangements in a whole other state. So that was interesting. But that is really, really important because you think, well, it's in the safe or it's in the file cabinet, but what if you wasn't here and you got the key?
Right.
Something to think about. So anyway, that little exercise is for you. If you couldn't list that information, then I would suggest that's an area of your economy that you would need to look at and evaluate. So these are some of the things I've been saying already for the Obamacare, major medical, the cost factor. I have a person who this is affecting right now. She has Obamacare insurance. Probably was paying like $23. But this year, she turned 65. Okay? She has to get off the $23, and now she's going to have to pay like close to $150 for the same insurance. Nothing changed. The only thing that changed
It's the age.
is the age. Now remember what Ms. Wu was saying to you about how you either have a plan, you work your plan, you have one or two choices. You work the plan or the plan will work you. And lack of knowledge and lack of information, it doesn't matter whether you have it or not because those rules are still going to apply.
Right.
So it's to your advantage to know what you need to know.
What's your?
We said age 65, and she's getting Medicare supplement, Medicare, she get Part B, because the age already, she gonna be eligible for age, and we have to pay anything.
What, we can get into specifics like a flu, but I don't want to do that. But just know the bottom line was she didn't have a choice. She is now paying $120 for the same stuff that she was getting for $23.
Right.
Okay? And so I have some websites on your paperwork in case you want to check into the major medical. But I want to keep moving through the time stage. Larger deductible, that's something you need to look at as far as on your car insurance, depending on how much monthly income you have and what your circumstances is. The larger your deductible, generally, the lower your cost. So if you're getting enough money that you can do that, where you don't have to have a $206 deductible, and maybe you can raise it to $500 or $1,000, it's going to lower your monthly fee. Okay, so just know that that's true. The rental car allowance, well, if you already got 4 cars sitting in the driveway, do you really need the rental insurance on your policy? These are things that where you're trying to cut some corners in order to save some money. Why do you want to save money? Because what Mr. Chris is going to come up and show us in a little bit as far as shifting that income into another area, right? So that's the purpose of why you want to look at all this stuff and save where you can to do something with your money to move you on down the road. So you're looking at your liability, collisions, your multiple accident policies. This is something I thought about when, you get those little brochures that say, hey, sign up for our insurance. It's only $5 a month or whatever. You sign up for all these various policies for $10,000 or $5,000, and you sign up and you don't know where the information is. They just got your money and ran off. You keep saying I'm well insurance. You don't know where the documentation is. The company don't went out of business. How do you research to get them? I mean, that's true. Is that not true? Companies change hands all the time. So you signed up under Joe Blow's company over here, and now they done turned into Timbuktu company over there, and you don't know what your policy is. What do you do with that information? That's just something to consider. Your rental insurance, your replacement cost for your home money. I just want to talk about that for just a moment. Because, They say God protects the innocent and fools. But anyway, I remember when I was buying my home and I was sitting down getting my insurance through State Farm, and I didn't know. But my agent, this is why it's so important to have a good agent. He's not looking out for their commission. They're looking out for what's on in your best interest.
Right.
But I was sitting there with my agent and the insurance company, and I didn't even know about the replacement cost. And for you all who are not sure about what that is that when you have insurance on your home, you can get it where it's just insured for a certain amount, or to your advantage, you can add in where if something happens to your home, fire, whatever the case may be, they have to replace what was damaged or lost. That's a huge advantage to have that for just a few dollars more. Replacement cost. And replacement cost means that if you, say for example, you had your house insured for $100,000, right? And that's all you had. You did not have the replacement cost. Okay. Well, if something happens to your house, they total damage, what have you, if you don't have the replacement cost, all they have to pay you is $100,000. But if you have replacement costs, and say you had did a lot of work in your home, and you added on rooms, and you've done extensive remodeling, whereas when you appraised the house at first it was only $100,000, but with all the work you've done into it, now it's worth like $180,000. With replacement costs, they have to give you that value.
Wow.
But if you didn't have it, and see, when I was sitting there, I didn't know to ask for it. My agent said, throw in that replacement cost. And you know, down the years, I've lived in my house 17 years, and of course, I've had some problems. But with that replacement cost, they have to give the whole value and not just a certain amount. Yes, sir.
You know, when you talk about the whole value of the house, that doesn't include the contents in the house, am I correct?
It does not. When you do a policy, that's another key area to look at because you have the structure of your house.
Right.
You have what's inside of your house. You know, our business offices that we're supposed to have in the house. So that's one section that's inside of the house. Your furs, your jewelry, firearms, all those kinds of things, the content. And that needs to be really specific. And this is one thing that I suggest when you're looking at that. Don't just list out that you have all of this stuff in the house. One of the things that I would do is I videoed it.
Right.
Took pictures. I see this place, she's vicious with that camera. Her camera storage must be awesome. But that's because you know what? Can't lie with a picture or video. So if you go and video your content and put that video in a safe place, and you can prove that you have that $65,000 jewelry and the 65-inch TV and the Ashley furniture, you know, it's a video, it's a picture of it, that kind of thing. Affordable cost versus quality services. That's huge. Here's an example. We've been hearing a lot about the burial association, those $500 policies and the things that I was hearing that was going on down here that the people had to meet about. And what that same kind of interest went on in Little Rock, actually in the Jacksonville area where a funeral home was cited, and they actually had to close down because, you know, they were just doing some vicious stuff in there with the deceased and how they were handling the people that were left behind. So she's just not always good.
Right.
You got to know who you're working with. So we can talk about that later. I don't want to run over time. But choosing the agent and the agency, we talked about that. Sharing the information with your family, good record keeping, and what to do if you lose your copy. And, you know, that's one thing. You can call the insurance company. But if they went out of business, what do you do with that? How do you handle that? One of the things I would suggest is go back to the Arkansas government body to see how they can help you with that. Okay, just a little bit on whole life and term life, pros and cons. You know, there's nothing bad with either one. You just need to be aware of which one is going to fit your circumstances. So whole life is talking about permanent insurance. It builds up, that's the biggest thing about whole life. It builds up a cash value. And the policy owner can borrow against it. Notice that age thing again. Repayment, if you do have to borrow against it, you can request that not have to make payments for like 6 months. The premiums are generally going to be a little bit higher than the term life. And then there's 3 types of whole life. You got your whole life, your limited pay whole life, and single premium. An example of what that's talking about, that single premium means that I went and got a whole life policy. I just pay the premium and it's done. If you got it like that. Term life is, it's temporary protection. Generally, it's going to be for someone who's just starting out, he or she wants to protect their family. They're going to get a lower premium, get a $50,000 policy. But again, that age is going to be just for term means just that. It's a select amount of time. Once that time is over, it's over. And there's no cash value in that. So just know that. Joint life. I just do these, like I said, it's many. Joint life is like for a husband or wife. You can get some insurance. And on joint life, it simply means that it'll pay on the decease of the first person. And generally, they do that so they can pay off the house, do something in the business, that kind of thing. But the virus life, this particular one, it pays off after the last person, second person has died. So that's just some examples on that one. Social Security, I'm not going to go through that. I just wanted my slides I was going to delete, but Ms. Lou was talking about it today. It's really, really, really important. It's in your handout so you can review it for your information. Want to be timely. Talk about the quarters, how it was set up, who it was set up to protect the old age, the people with disabilities, and Social Security really is just federal life and health insurance. It's just another way of looking at it. But they're very strict on their requirements. You need to understand the age requirements of it and things like that. So that's for your review and pleasures in your handouts. But if you have any questions about it, you can talk with me about it later. But notice that FICA and that tax stuff that Ms. Pace is always telling us about, Social Security is a huge area. It really requires a training all by itself. But review those handouts. Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say this quickly. Working with the Affordable Care Act, I have run into people who do not qualify for that Medicare Part A at the age of 65 because they didn't have those 40 quarters. Then just simply because they were 65, their applications got denied. So they have to go through all of this rigmarole and get the proof from Social Security that they do not qualify. And the main thing is, these people are 65 and have no insurance because they had not put in enough time during their working years.
Exactly, no quarters. Right. That is so key. What Ms. Lou was talking about, some of us look like we're not 16, so it's not too late. We can jump in there and start learning and doing the things that we need to do. But again, either you're going to work the plan or the plan don't work for you. So, yes,
Also get those Social Security letters, y'all hear me getting those?
Yeah.
And some people put them aside, but you should open it up and read that information. That was handy for me, even setting my cash flow strategy as to what we were looking at down the road, what were the possibilities and what was not the possibilities of how all of that is going to calculate into our future.
Yes. Okay, again, this is Social Security continuation, so I'm not going to go over that. IRA, to my understanding, Big Money Chris is going to cover that. I'm not going to talk about that, but it's in your in your documentation as far as on your traditional IRAs and your Roth IRAs. And again, retirement plans, which Ms. Lou has covered about making sure that you're knowledgeable about how you want to live and how you're going to get there, not assuming, okay? So these are some additional plans that are available to us. And one that we probably could look at is that self-employed plan. That's what having some type of investments and deductions with that one. But we'll not go over that one today. I'm almost done. Life insurance and burial insurance. I have so much fun with this because I meet so many people that say, well, no, I don't want to take care of my burial insurance on the front end because I have life insurance. Okay, what are the things that we've been talking about here on the front end? If your life insurance is connected to your job, and you get sick, or you lose your job, do you still have life insurance? And so you had that insurance, and you were planning on that as far as on leaving inheritance or making your final arrangements, you may want to look at that. But I just list a few reasons for life insurance is to help with income loss, because we really don't know what's going to happen to us. If we're involved in some huge accident, whatever the case may be, are you going to be available to continue working and things of that nature? So you have unpaid bills, no liquid assets. It helps with unpaid taxes. Why is that important? Because Uncle Sam wants his money. He don't get his money, one way or the other, whether we hear or not. He wants his money. Helping with final expenses. Now, a thing that you want to keep in mind with that, when you're talking life insurance and something happens to you, nothing is moving until you get that death certificate. It's going to take a minute for that to come back. So if you're counting on that to do whatever it is that you need to do, just know that. And one of the important things about Arkansas is a probate state. So unless your estate is in a trust, you're going to go through probate. And this is just an example of some figures. I'm not sure if these are current, so don't hold me to these amounts. But if you have a $50,000 life insurance policy or a $200,000 policy, an example of this going through probate, you're going to have to pay off the top of all that money that you gathered, $12,350, for example. That's off the top before you even do anything with that valuable policy that you say you have. So some fees are going to be coming off of that, off top. What are some of the advantages of pre-arranging? Well, some of the things, of course, on burial insurance, when you pre-arrange, you lock in the cost. I met with an individual who purchased her arrangement 50 years ago. And she may have spent like $400 for a service now, and particularly in Little Rock, which is like $10,000. They had to honor the $400 policy. Why? Because she locked in the cost. Okay? So that's one of the things you want to keep in mind as far as on the insurance, the life insurance. If you have life insurance, yeah, great. Yay! But think about this when you think about burial. When you're burying someone, you're not thinking clearly. You're devastated. If you pre-arrange, a husband and a wife, a team of individuals can go in and knowledgeably, reasonably, and why am I using those terms? Because it reduces the overspending in the moment that people tend to do when they're making those arrangements at the time. They overspend. So you go in, you put what's important to you at the time, get it all laid out, pay for it, and move on down the road. But you're doing that economically. And what is MyEcon about? Being wise about our money. Putting some stuff in place. But it ensures that the person, their wishes are known. Now, my son is 23. I asked him the question, what do you want me to do with you? And this is his response. Totally floored me. He said, well, I want to be cremated. And I was like, that ain't even in our family. I mean, kudos to people who want it, but that's not something we do. And so I asked him, I said, why? And this was his response. He said, because I want to be a diamond. He want to take the ass, he want to take the ass and put him in a diamond, and he can just see himself being a diamond. The other question I asked him, he lives in Denver. Where do you want to find a resting place? He said, in Denver. I said, okay, kudos to you for the cremation, and thinking you're going to be going in Denver. If I'm still alive, this is where your final resting place is going to be. Right in good old town, no doubt. But why did I do that? I want to know what he wants. He's made lots of friends out there. He's been out there 6 to 7 years and that kind of thing. Anyway, it gives the peace of mind, locks in the price. It reduces the overspending emotionally. When I see people, it's the worst day of their life. I always deal with family, kids. I've been employed with DHS again, 10 years, dealing with abused kids, foster care kids. It gets you away from working with people who don't know what to do. You have to be prepared and guide them through the process. Okay, and there are multiple payment options available. I do this presentation for my company at no cost at churches, and I talk with pastors about, it's a win-win for you, because when people can't pay at need, where do they go? They go to their church, and they ask for assistance. But if we can teach and train on how you can accomplish what you need to have accomplished economically, it's a win-win for everybody. So when I go and speak with individuals, some of the things that we ask, we give out these, and because this is my first presentation with MyEcon, it's a gift to you all if you want to have it. It's a personal planning guide, and what it does is, the first page is you list all this information in here. You list all the information that's going to be needed for the death certificate. You put your genealogy in here. You put all your financial information in here, your bank, your credit cards, your real estate. But the purpose of this book is you list all your assets, all your information in one place. And so at that time when it's needed, your loved one who is emotionally distraught, they don't have to try and answer all those questions. There's hundreds of questions that they need to know. And they just go get your little book, put all your little information in, and hand it over. So this is like something that I do for churches. And then again, I'm rushing, I know my time is up. Veterans. Any veterans in here? What is you or your husband? Okay. Then I'm going to give you, this is a planning guide for veterans. It helps them apply for any organization that they want, medals that they didn't get or lost or whatever the case. If they need that discharge form, the forms and papers, the numbers, all the information in here. So I'm going to give this to you also as a free gift. And transportation. Remember I was talking about transportation? We have a policy that if you're in Jamaica and being foolish trying to climb a waterfall or whatever the case may be, for $449, it'll transport you back to your loved one. It covers you 365 days, 7 days a week, for the rest of your life, and you can have that type of protection. And I think that should about cover me. That's me, yay! Any questions?
You talk about, you said you want to be cremated. So I want to ask you a question. What is the missile? Why people say well being cremated, well just being good? What's your take on that?
What's my take? That's a personal thing. So I can step outside this road. That's personal. I don't have to pay. And to me, it's a personal decision. I don't have a preference or a piece. If in our family, we've done traditional funerals. That's simply that. It's no reason, nothing I believe or whatever. But then the thing that I did was, if you ever want to know about cremation, YouTube it and see what it's like. And I couldn't do it.
This Marilyn has a question.
Because when I love one pass on, the funeral home and pray on us. And you can have a $5,000 burial, and you're sad, and they're telling you that you want the best for your loved one. You want them to be a good way out. You spend $12,000. With me having a knowledge of MyEcon, I was saying no to everything. And all my family members were sitting around me, and they were saying, you can look. Now, I said I did, but I didn't even know when she was here.
Okay.
She told me, I told her, you'll be now, we've done, that money is not going in the ground. But I was strong to do that. Because we're not strong to do that. You will listen to your loved one, and they will put a trip on you to put that money in.
That's right.
So this has been an eye-opener for me to make a solid foundation for me and my spouse. If you all, y'all are in the right place at the right time. I just want to say, we have flyers again. You can talk with me afterwards if you would like for me to sign up and come to your church, your meeting, your organization. I do cancer support groups, bereavement groups, whatever the case may be, or just church in general. I love talking to pastors because I'm helping them. They're alleviating some of those concerns. Win-win for everybody when we know what to do.
Michelle, I just want to make one statement.
Yes.
Medicaid won't cause you to lose your insurance, but your insurance, life insurance, you may because you're not gonna become eligible. But I did see you with that clause out there. But, some caseworker will tell you, some will not. I saw she had it in parentheses. You can just, convert those policies over to being irrevocable.
Yes.
To
keep the policy.
Right, execute the policy and possibly more likely eligible than not. Because what it means that it's locked in strictly for various purposes. You don't have access to go in and pull.
Correct, and that's a
But like you
huge
said,
area.
right, and I just, although I'm retired, I feel, Paige always said, I guess we need to do a consultant, because so many people don't know what technicalities like that. So that's, like you said, that's a whole other workshop.
My time is up, so unless you have more questions, you can see me afterwards, that's come on down.
While they are setting up for the next presentation, I do want you to know that you have other professionals, in here that does insurance, healthcare, and so forth. Nate Appeal does the affordable care, insurance. I don't call it a volunteer from my learning. It's not a volunteer, it's affordable care and protection. So,
Healthcare independent program.
yes, we just don't call it a volunteer because we know why it was titled that. I used to do it. I don't, then I'll do it again, don't want to do it no more. But she continues to do this, and she's available if you guys don't have the health insurance. Can you work from in this county? Any county? Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She can do any county. I get a lot of questions all the time asking me if I'm still doing it. The answer is no. No.
But I do anything.
Okay, Rachel Williams, Rachel Ray J. She also does it over there. Okay, she is a health professional, in home health, the manager over there, medical billing and so forth. We got a lot of power in this house today. That's wonderful. Who else am I missing that's in, insurance? All right, insurance and foster care. So we got a lot of resources. Miss Faye Lee works with the, community action, when you need assistance with utilities and things of this nature. She is there, her and her colleagues can help you, so you can find out her information if you are ever going to need, that information. That's what we are here for on today. Yes, ma'am.
We all have cards, but it'd be possible to, anybody who would be willing to put their name and number, because I know there's some people I would like to touch base with, just based on some of the things they said, so we could like do this, and that way, anybody.
You want to move? I try for so much, but
yeah, like their name.
I can provide the sign-in sheet. I actually generally will email it to you if you need that for tax purposes or anything else. So everyone, make sure that your information's on the sign-in sheet.
Like I'll put ACA out beside mine for they'll remember, know that I'm here and.
Okay, and this is Marcelle's sign-in sheet. If you want her to speak with you all can actually put your information on here, and she will make contact with you as well. What you do is we'll bring up our next guest. We're gonna take a few minutes to get set up a coupon. Anybody ready to save up a coupon? Yeah. Woo-hoo. All right. This has been great so far, and we're still moving right along. Pretty good time in here. And get up, get your bathroom break as she continues to set everything up and get ready for our next two presentations. Then we'll be done for the day. Anybody learning anything on today? Yeah. Wonderful. Do we have any people that's ready to enroll in MyEcon and take your personal life to another level? You know that's next. All right, because the announcement is this. In starting today, MyEcon lowered its enrollment from $179.99 to $129.99. All right, some of us are giving away $50 coupons. So even that $129.99 is gonna go down by $50 if you get aboard with the right people. But all of you should give a $50 coupon. Also, what you should keep in mind is that everything that we're sharing now, we want you to share with other people. We know that some of you are shy about introducing people to MyEcon and this business, but can you see the value on today? It's people helping people. And so if you look at it in a different manner, which this is what we really stand for, that's why a lot of people don't understand us. Okay, because we're actually people helping people and we don't mind. Okay, go and tell somebody else. And for 6 months, you have the opportunity to share with other people, enroll them into the business with you. And this training is repetitive. Okay, so I'm looking for you all to call us, call your upline. I'm looking for you. We've been training on setting goals. Executing those goals. It's time for execution. Anybody know it's time for execution? Time to move on. So some of you want to be executive vice president, know what you got to do. If you don't, give with somebody, let's do that. Let's help some people. Let's make some money. So that things like the insurance presentation and so forth, we don't have to be so stressed out. Remember when I presented in the beginning, I talked about our economy being put into other people's hands. This is why we get frustrated, because we have trusted the government to take care of us. We have trusted agents. We have trusted the bank to take care of us. We don't have to be frustrated because our ducks can be in a row. All of this is value information so you can get your ducks in a row. And when you get to having those ducks in a row, the things that are taking the majority of our money, see, one of the things I did learn about the insurance companies is that they make more money than we do. We invest our money into them. They turn around and invest it at a higher rate of return. And if we never get a chance to use this insurance, they have made more money off of us than what we have, thousands of dollars. We just recently experienced something in Monticello where those people were paying for burials that they cannot get money back for. People, that is real, and everybody was upset. The reason they're upset is because of this information that we're sharing today, they did not know. So we don't have to be upset. We are exposing you to the information. We're exposing you to put your business in place so that you can have the money you need and you won't worry about Social Security. You won't have to worry about that. Okay, that'll just be a little chunk change if you're eligible for it or if it's still around. Because your assets are going to take care of you when you retire. Okay, with that being said, I think we're ready for, did everybody get up, get your little rest, little bathroom break? Hey, Andre, if you're still on the line and anybody else is watching. Now, okay, I sure will. And we're ready to introduce our next trainer today. She is a long-time friend I met when I first came to Monticello as well. It is amazing what God can do over a period of time because I came from El Dorado. And I feel so blessed to be a part of the Monticello community. Okay, you guys have made me really feel like family since I've been here, everybody. So she is in the healthcare field. She does a lot of things, but one of the things she picked up was this couponing. And she does an awesome job at it. And she's going to tell you more about all this stuff. I think somebody's going to get a chance to get all of this today.
All of it.
Oh, what? Your name's went into it. So, yeah, can you see all of that stuff in that table? And I have a separate bag.
Yes, she does.
No! Just in case y'all know my name is not in there to be drawn. But let's put our hands together for Mrs. Anita Riley. Good morning.
Good morning. First of all, I have to ask you to excuse my appearance. My husband and I are caregivers at home. We take care of my grandfather. My dad's an only child, and we help my dad with my grandpa. So we moved, we stayed between two houses, and I didn't realize until I got down here, my mom was so boggled, I forgot to change my shoes. I had on tennis shoes. So excuse my appearance.
Couponing to do that.
I'm telling you, I am so excited about today.
Yay!
For those who did not get one, I was going to make copies when this is over. First of all, Everybody loves Walmart. I live in Walmart. As a matter of fact, I got off at 10:15. I made the home sale last night. I made it home at 1 o'clock because I was with my other man, Walmart, making love in the store with my coupon. My husband never worries about me cheating with a man. He worries about me cheating with Walmart and my coupon. And I love it. First of all, before I even get started, I made a bag. This bag has household products in it. It has personal hygiene products in it. And somebody's about to win this bag. Very clean one. This bag contains paper towels, a Swiffer duster, Tide laundry detergent, toothpaste. It's just a big old goodie bag. And somebody's about to win a goodie bag today. And the person that's winning this bag has no answer in here. But the person that's winning this is Miss. If Miss Barbara had gone, when Miss Barbara looked in that bag, if she had gone to the store, her value probably would have been over $50 or $60. But with the help of the nice couponers, she got a whole bag for $7. Yeah. At Walmart, my favorite place in the world, they have a thing called price matching. Right. They're getting really picky. We couponers are killing them. But it's in their policy. And as long as it's in policy, whether it's on your job, MyEcon, policy is policy. Don't write it if you don't want to use it. If you want to make changes, you better give me an amended copy. Because if not, I'm going to kill you every time with your words. Study the policy first. Learn your policy. You have one here for Walmart. You have one here for Dollar General. As a matter of fact, you can go on the website, walmart.com. They have a thing called Savings Catcher. You take whatever you spend in Walmart, you go to walmart.com, sign up on walmart.com under Savings Catcher. If there's a cheaper price in the area where you live, Walmart pays you the difference.
That's right. That's right.
And if you apply for the Bluebird card, it doubles.
Yes, ma'am.
It doubles. So therefore, you can swipe the card to pay for gas. You can swipe it at any other place because it's an American Express card. Free of charge. You can add money to it. Everything. The next place that I like to go, Dollar General. As a matter of fact, today, spend $25 at Dollar General. You get a $5 discount. That means your $25 stuff is now $20. Savings, savings, savings. That $5 go towards your monthly membership fee to MyEcon. Fred, today is Saturday. Double coupon day. They double up to 70 cents. So if your product is $1, 50 cents, you have a 50-cent coupon, doubles to $1 free. One exception. Only 4 like coupons per transaction. And based on the cashier, they give you crazy looks. They give you attitude. But guess what? I'm going to stand in line, and anybody behind me, you can get another checkout line, because I'm going to wait for my separate transaction, because I'm saving money. The next one, Walgreens. Not only does Walgreens take a manufacturer coupon, they also have their nice little book that comes out a month. You are allowed to use the coupon that's inside of their book, plus a manufacturer's coupon. It just so happens to take the Revlon, so it's a $2 off of Revlon face cosmetic product. If I have a $2 or $4 off manufacturer coupon, I get to stack. Not only at Walgreens do you stack, you get registered rewards. I use my points to buy paper products. I stack my points to buy paper products.
That's when we talk about several different kinds.
Several different kinds of coupons. Just like right now, the Walgreens sell paper. Cottonelle, regular price $4.99. However, if you look in the book, there's a $1 off coupon from Walgreens, takes it down to $3.99. If you happen to have this particular coupon in your binder, my body's crazy, y'all. In your binder, it takes whatever else off because these are manufacturer coupons. There are all kinds of books out here. There are all kinds of web pages out here. I price matched these last night because Clarissa said bring napkins. I priced these for 50 cents. They're all cleared at Target. Price matched them at Walmart, but at Walmart these were $3 or so. It's all about money making. On our cashback mall, there's all kinds of ways to save as you know. They've also put coupons on the back. Those are printable coupons to take to the store. You can't use them on the web page, but you can take them to the store. They have several different sheets, and you can just go in and click and print which ones you like, and print them and take those to the store. Some stores try to act up. I'll put it like that. About you printing your coupons and bring them, but it's in their policy they have to take them. Price matching at Walmart. The only thing that Walmart will not price match is a third-party distributor. When I say that, sometimes Amazon has good sales going on, you can take it, but at the bottom of Amazon it will say shipped from John Doe. And they won't take that because they call that a third-party person and not from their warehouse. If you would go to all these stores and sign up with for their registered reward programs for members, that's a lot of savings. As a matter of fact, I don't know who travels a whole lot. My husband and I do. Starting tomorrow at Kmart. Kmart will double your coupons up to a $2 value for 1 week. Starting tomorrow. That means that you can take a coupon with a value of $2 and it doubles to $4. There's going to be a lot of people doing a lot of transactions because they're only allowing 4 coupons per transaction. And that's okay because it's a lot of cashiers. The biggest thing is know your policy. My mom has the thing, she can't stand this big old binder. And they have these. These are your pocket-sized binders that can fit in your purse, that can fit in your back pocket, guys. These are Dollar and Dollar Tree. My husband will not go in the store now without buying anything. He'll call me first. Do you have a coupon? Yeah. If we do not have a coupon, we don't buy it. Some of the things over here on this table were free, and they were free because the coupon had no exclusion to size. You have to pay attention to the coupon because they had exclusions to size. Some of the coupons didn't have an exclusion to size, so that's how we were able to get a lot of the travel items free. Okay. Because there was no exclusion to them. We were able to get some of the travel size deodorants free. Right now, there's a big coupon out on household products by Swiffer. There's a $2 off coupon. These are $2.97, so we're paying 97 cents for Swiffer dusters. We price match now Lowe's though. Lowe's had an overstock sale of Mr. Clean. These are $2.97 at Walmart. We paid 57 cents for them. There was a $1 off coupon for Moneymaker. And Walmart will give you cash back. Tuna, free. There's a $1 coupon floating around. Walmart has these right now. $4. $1.
So you laugh like
Little deals for the kids. We pay a penny for them.
Wow. What's that?
Little deals. We pay a penny for them. It's all about making money because that's making money, saving money. I make money so I can go to work MyEcon. And my husband and I have 3 children in college. So we're working our savings to help our group and to take care of our children. And I'm gonna retire one of these days when I get them out of college with the money. It's just a blessing when you can go into the store and say, check the clearance rack, match coupons to your clearance rack. Coupons are found online on the MyEcon website. I also did Bovado is the best place that I've learned to learn how to coupon. It's F-A-V-A-D-O, Bovado. F-A-V is in Victor, Bovado. Bovado is a website that actually breaks your coupons down with the sales circle. When it says SS, that means Smart Source. And that's one of the coupon papers that comes out in, on the Sunday paper. When it says RP, that's Red Plum. PG, that's your Procter & Gamble. Bovado will tell you what date those coupons came out, what stores have those products on sale, how much you're gonna save using the coupon matched it to the product. That's one of the best out of all the books I've read, all the things that I've studied, that's one of the best websites that I've come across because it has all your major retail department stores. It has Walmart, Walgreens, all your local stores, and it just totally breaks it down for you. And it matches it down to the T. This is also a book that was given to me that I've read and studied. Her name is Miss Katina Robinson. She lives in Little Rock, and she's an avid couponer and an avid person to come and teach the class.
She's a MyEconer.
Yeah, and a MyEcon also, because it's all about saving money and investing in your future. That's just the whole thing. So before each person leaves today, I'd like you to get something off the table that could be useful to you inside of your home and take it with you. And it's just a blessing to be able to save money. Once everybody has gotten what they have off their table, I'm going to make another bag and I'm going to shake this cup up again, and we'll just keep on giving it to that table's clear. I thank y'all for the time. I thank y'all for the opportunity. And let's save money. Oh, one more thing before I'm sorry. Are there any questions?
Yes, you said Red Plum. Now, I was looking that up when I was doing the money club. I'm not sure what's the Red Plum deal.
Red Plum is a sales coupon service that comes out also on Sunday with the paper. That's just the name of the Red Plum.
Okay,
Red
so
Plum.
there's a website.
Right, there's a website. And there's also an All You. That's a website that has coupons. All You. All You.
Can I ask you a question about All You, the book that they have at Walmart?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
need to get there and get the people that need that. Website better than you to find it, so you can probably save more.
You can save more on the website. Excuse me. There's also, I like freebies. There's a website called YO dot free, capital R, small REE, capital SAMPLES.com, yourfreesamples.com. Every day they update with free samples. You go on there, you sign up. Every day they have free samples of all different products. I've got everything from dog food to cat food to condoms. They have everything on there that you can imagine, free. So it's just amazing what comes on that yourfreesamples.com. And so that's one thing that, you go there and you sign up for all kinds of stuff and it's free. You might not like what you get free, but it's free. Somebody can use it. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I can't stand that website because I've gone to there and I haven't ever gotten any data.
I've never gone in there. I was like, this is not.
I think it's just a thing for them getting your information because I signed up. They have good stuff on there. They speak well, but then nothing ever comes. So, is there any? Okay.
So when I come to see you Monday, I need to pick up about 5 papers.
All right. And also, it costs $2 on Sunday for an Arkansas Democrat. However, That's too much paper for me to waste. That's too many trees. So there are people on the web that you can buy inserts from, not the paper, but specifically inserts. And I found that the money that I was spending buying 5, 10, 15 papers, I'm investing that now by the insert, saving myself about $20 or $30. The inserts are on different web. If you go on Facebook and start Googling, Clear Queens is one app on one closed group on Facebook. They also post sales. Clear Queens, couponing for you. My niece Monica had another meeting, but we have a group called It's a Savings Thing. If you send a request to us on It's a Savings Thing, we will accept you, we'll help you with the coupon, we'll help you with matching your inserts. We show you the different things that, how we've gotten them and where we've gotten them from.
And another important thing, Anita, is not just for household products, for your clothing line. Use your coupons.
Right.
And save big on clothing.
And not long ago, we got the game fling, the ones over here on the table that have 14 of them. They were clearing them out at Lowe's or Target, I can't remember. We got them for 50 cents. And there was a 50-cent coupon, so that made them free. So if there's another break, I'll grab something off the table, I'll make up another bank, take up some more names. Is there anyone who has not started couponing? They have not?
I have not.
Okay. Binders are important. These are, most people use Trapper Keepers because it's easy in their binders, their things won't slip out. We actually buy, this is just a sample one, but we label them with different things, however you want to label your binder. These are actually baseball cards. You can use baseball cards, or there's a starter kit in Walmart that has the sleeves for the insert. So I'm going to shake up. If you already have a binder and you don't, if you already have a binder, and this binder also has the cards in it, please give it to someone who is not, I'm going to pull somebody else's name who hasn't started couponing yet to give them a binder. The person's name, and I just pulled it, one just dropped it. Angela Hedwood. All right. These coupons have expired, but I put it in here just to kind of show people, and some of the ads they said that you can always add to them. Okay. They call me, I should be coupons. Thank you all for the time and the opportunity. I appreciate you all. Go by Walgreens tomorrow, pick up your March book, your March savings book, and just happy couponing and happy MyEcon.
You guys okay?
Yeah.
All right. Andre said you're still on.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah, y'all go get y'all piece while we get set up.
It's hard, just laundry detergent, just throw it up in there and make it do what it do.
Anita just got through going through the couponing and gave all of our associates the opportunity to go to the table and pick off at least one item that they could use for their household or whatever. So that's what we're doing right now. We're getting ready to bring up Mr. Chris Allen, who's going to talk to us about income shifting. He's going to bring everything to a close as to why we do what we do in MyEcon and how we can take this thing to a very valuable level when it comes to tax and shifting income and making money. Thank you for joining us.
All right, Miss Marilyn Vincent.
All right, you guys, we ready to move on. We're bringing up Mr. Chris Allen, Big Money Chris. You hear him on the phone? You everybody say Big Money Chris? Big Money was one of my first young men that ever came in business with me, and he's smarter than a coop. I have to say, he took this thing to a whole nother level. He just loves this income shift, and he's doing great. Getting married in May, and they have already made it start and plans together. So he's gonna bring all of this thing home for us. And if we're probably gonna run over a few minutes to 12. Is that okay with everybody? Just a few minutes. We're gonna run over just a little bit. But give him a chance to close this out. let me say, let me say this, interject it, because soon as we close, I'm have to rip and run and go to the ball game myself. But let me say, there's more to come. This year, I told you 2015, we were going to a whole nother level. There are some of you in here that want to buy some houses, right? Anybody want to buy a house? Anybody want to build from the ground?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to get you in place for that. We're bringing some home builders. We're bringing loan officers to talk to y'all. Though I was a loan officer, I can't help you. I probably may do it myself, but I'll bring somebody in to help you know what's on the market now, what you can do. There are some of you that want to move in that direction. The credit repair, anybody needs the credit repair? Don't be ashamed, this is okay? And even if you don't need it, you need to understand it. We got testimonies in the room where people were okay, but they were better once they learned. We're going to bring all of this information out. Now, what I need you to do for me is bring more in. How about that? We're going to bring more out, you bring more in. Can that work? Can that work? All right, we're going to Hampton, we're going to Camden, we're going to El Dorado, we're going to Dermot, Dumas, Little Rock, we're going to Germany, we're going to all right, so put your hands together for Big Money Chris.
How's everybody doing? All right. She told me the time, we got here close to 12, so I'm going to condense a little over, but I'm going to hit the important parts of the power of income shifting. And all right, so it's pretty much I call it invest smart 101. Talking for you. All right, taking the assets to produce extra income for you. All right, so when I say income shifting is the key of how money works. A lot of times we've been working for the money, but now we want our money to do what? Work for us. So I say that to do that, I'm going to say right here. All right. Income shifting is key for money works. We're going to show how that works right there. All right. So the emphasis in today, Invest Smarter 1 module is to really help MyEcon associates understand how to turn cash flow into income producing assets. And we talk about our 3 smart cash flow strategies. She talked about that earlier. And then how minimize your taxes, how minimize your expenses, how eliminating debt. All those key strategies are strategies to help you shift your income, to help you start building assets, okay? So, but you got to have a management system, reposition current cash flow and find ways to generate additional cash flow. And you already have that being a part of MyEcon. That's why I love MyEcon so much, because we have that system in our back office to help us reposition ourselves. All right, so the mentality, when you are caught up in wages, you can't have wealth. Money doesn't reproduce. Cattle does. Money don't reproduce, but cattle does. When we take money, we purchase things that are consumable, not reproducible. So I can reproduce that paper if I go buy a certain thing, paper towel, and things. I'm consuming things that's not being reproduced. All right, but cattle does, right? There's other events we got to know about how to make that money. So when money is making money, though, I call that it's wealth. When money is making money, that is wealth. It's not. I mean, if it's not, then it's just money. So there's a process for building, buying, and creating assets, and you can only be as smart or as intelligent as you expose yourself. All right. So that's why I say that. I got convicted that if I want God to really launch the territory and certain things, I have to get that knowledge and teach and read books. Every now and then, when I first started MyEcon, I had a fraternity brother named Charles Thomas, is also a very successful MyEcon, but he does invest in things. I have to ask him, pick his brain, ask him questions, certain things of that nature, and seek other financial advisors, so I can get a little bit of mentality of where I'm trying to go. All right, and that brings it to it. The concept of personal financial success. Whatever your desired income level is, your new money now is coming from my labor. You get that new money when I go to work and certain things, that new check coming in, that's what it's going to be. But like you said, Lou and who else we have today talking about retirement? It's Lou. All right, myself talking about all the things that they do. You're going to have to live off old money, income from assets. Old money is that money that made money. So when you stop, I'm not going to have new money coming in. I'm not going to have new money coming in and produce. So what I'm going to have to do is have my old money that made money for me, okay? So that's how I'm gonna do it. That is a process to buying, building, buying, creating assets. That's a process. All right, we know process takes a while sometimes. But your personal portfolio, a person cannot build a quality house without a blueprint. I can't have a quality house the way I want it or my dream home without a blueprint. Nor can a person build a quality financial house without a plan, a blueprint. So MyEcon provides each associate with a general plan, and that general plan is in our capital strategy. I heard we always say it. I always said it. If you haven't done your capital strategist, you're not MyEcon. That's what we talk about. It's not about going and get your sales and doing all that recruit, but the things you want to tell people, and this is valuable information, but you got to take care of your personal economy. I heard too many sad stories about somebody was 62 and 165 and how the healthcare didn't work and certain things. And I said, when it boils down to, it's your economy, it's your personal economy. And like I said, the government should feel sorry and things like that, but this is not. Every man for himself. All right, and they're independent. That's what it is, and that's what hurts you. You got some valuable people who really need help on certain things, but they always say, "What have you done? Have you prepared yourself?" And the Lord says, "My people prepare for lack of knowledge." All right. So here's a personal cash flow plan. If you have that, get back off and set it up. All right. So 42, become better investor and asset builders by acquiring a vision or a success plan. Customize your plan. Stay focused and get rid of despair with faith and hope. Hope and faith. But there are times when I run my MyEcon business, that is my sign of faith right there. I'm operating my business to make a profit, but I'm believing my effort, the seed and time that I'm sowing into my business, sowing in to learning knowledge and things of wealth, then I'm going to reap the harvest. Okay? And 3 James 2 talks about, as your soul prospers, you prosper, right? Like the level of all things, as you prosper in good health, even as the soul prospers. So we talk about our soul. So if my mind and things are prospering and expanding, God give me more vision, more ideas and ways to strategize to get to increase my cash flow. All right, and you have that a small customized plan in your back office. You go to your strategy, it tells you your desired income level, and they say, well, if you want this at a rate of return, then it tells you how much you got to start investing. You have that little bit of knowledge right there that you can get started with, where you can pay people hundreds of thousands to consult and with you. But with MyEcon, we got $29.95 a month, which is still tax deductible, things you're gonna learn about and stuff. That stuff still is available for you, and I use it all the time. All right, and to show about that, the testimony when I was able to use my strategist, where I thought I was a teacher. I mean, I'm a teacher, but I thought, man, I made good money. I got a stable job to get a home. Man, when that student loan stuff kicked in, they told me debt to ratio stuff. I couldn't give a proof $50,000, and I was like, what's going on? But Ms. Face to tell you, I went and I would discipline myself and put my cash flow strategist. Instead of paying, like we say, people paying 18 years, 10 years on credit cards and certain things, I paid certain things off in a year. I paid certain things off in 2 years. I used my strategist, and within after a year turn around, I was able to be approved for over $100,000. And when I done that stuff, I was able to pay my car off way ahead of time. So now I have more cash flow. That's right. And because I have less debt and more income coming in, guess what? My credit rose. So I end up eventually saving on better finances. So I tell you, if you really practice MyEcon and do all the strategies and put that stuff in that system in there, it takes discipline, but it's a process. Yeah. And I told myself, you can't get out of debt. Let me tell you that if you can get debt, you can get out of debt. That's right. And you never gonna get out of debt until you get tired of it. You get mad enough at debt. Yeah. You see it every day when I print that strategist out, and I said, man, I'm paying this much money in interest and stuff. And I say, man, how can $50 just a month on interest, or some people paying more, hundreds? I'm gonna show you what $50 can just do. If you just saying, I'm just gonna pay the minimum payment, you keep paying about $50 in interest every month. Matter of fact, if you have a calculator, let's say you're paying $50 in interest. You just say, well, I'm not gonna do business, I'm not gonna have an income shift, I'm just gonna keep living my life. Well, you just keep paying the minimum payment, you pay $50 a month, and of course interest, because that's just how interest. That's one thing that credit companies are doing. We try to save and stuff in little banks, and then, where we get good and be if I be a good boy, they may give me a shot in the head to 3%. Why they take their money and invest in it. But then if I turn around and I pay a credit card that was 12 or 16%, they're making a killing. But if you do $50 times 12, what is 50 times 12? $600. Let's say somebody's been doing that for 30 years. They've been doing that, that's not gonna change by the time they're retired. How much is that 30 years? $18,000. You just paid a credit card $18,000. And you say, oh, that's just $18,000. But, Ms. Pace, go to the calculator in our wonderful back office. So we say $18,000. We say $50, right? But let's see how much powerful, when I start talking about, compound interest and things, how it really works, how we really get our mindset. Everybody say this, say, if I shift my mindset,
I shift my mindset,
I can shift my income.
I can shift my income.
So look at this, the way I start seeing money, and I'm gonna share how all the coupon, how all the strategies that we're using can really, really help us get financial success. Money coming in for lowering your taxes, that's extra cash, that's positive cash flow. Money coming in for couponing, positive cash flow. $50 go to your periodic monthly investment right here. Now, we just said, by me just sitting around, I'm not learning strategies, I don't want to come to training, I don't want to know the benefits of really how my MyEcon business really is going to help me, because it's your economy. I done paid $18,000 in interest, because when you're not in business and you don't have the money, we already talked about how taxes take a third of your check, and you got debt, and if you had the money to buy your bike or your clothes, you would have brought it, but because you didn't have it, you charged it, right? So now we're paying 2 to 3 times more, and because we want to be lazy, and we still have money, we pay the minimum payment, and said, well, I had an issue with a young girl saying, well, I pay my payments on time every month, my credit's still not going up. I said, well, you just paying minimum payment, you think you're paying on time, well, that ain't helping the principal. You paying them the interest, so it's not going down. So you're not adjusting that ratio thing. So now, but let's say $50, if I had just $50, and I put that into investment, put $50 in there. Okay. Let's put 8%. We like to do that normally. All right. Let's say now, if I did that for 30 years, how much is it worth now? $74,500. Now you tell me this. I'm paying 30 years of my life. I'm thinking $50 is nothing. $50, I'm just sitting back paying $50, thinking, well, I don't need to be a part of business. I don't need to come to training. I don't need to surround myself. I know what I'm doing. Well, you know what you're doing, all right? You dig yourself in a hole. Because you're paying $18,000 for somebody free who you don't know, never going to see your birthday card, do anything. Don't care about the children. But you put that $50, that little $50, once you start, it costs more, but once you accrue and start opening up your account, then you can start putting money, how much money you want in there. If I was investing $50 in 30 years, how much I got now? And that's mine. Does that make a big difference? Yeah. 18 compared to 74,000, is that a big difference? Yeah. Okay. Now she said, Riley said how she was talking about saving $109 to $200 in groceries. That $200 a month that you save can help you pay your credit card off. When you look at your capital strategy and say what additional funds from your business or less expenses that you can accrue, that you save it, use that. If you use that strategy in your back office and you start applying that, now you can pay that credit card off. If I got a $500 credit card, then instead of paying $25, but that money I was saving, I would have paid $200 in groceries. But she only paying what? $7, $50 here. That $200, $150 can go to that principal. And now instead of waiting on, say, here's a 7-year plan, they see you in the mail. They say, hey, you pay this off in 17, 18 months. You can pay this month. Well, no, you paid off in 2 months. Now, let's take that. Let's say I sacrificed, made 2 months payment, right? I take that $200, put $200. Well, that $200 goes to 50 you was doing, split $250 in there a month. How much you got now?
$372,589.
And if we're real good, because of MyEcon, we want to see about growth. We got this big conference going on, Cash, Asset Cash, where we learn financial things. I know Thomas and other people there in Little Rock, they do a lot of other cash flow traders talking about investing. So let's say this. Let's say that because I'm going to training, I'm learning that really, the more you spend MyEcon, and the more you spend the money, the more you have the knowledge, and you appreciate the knowledge you're learning. Like I said, I mean, a lot of people who are very successful, we put it in the work and the time. It's a process. Before I know, I can't believe I've been in MyEcon nearly 4 years. The time why? Because I'm enjoying having my money work for me, and I see the benefit. So I don't get mad when when we say somebody says no, they say no to opportunity. Okay. All right, because my economy. So I can say that. It's like I said, they're not gonna be there on my time of day. They're not gonna be there to keep me warm. I'm gonna be honest. So I'm putting stuff for my family and thinking about my future. all right? I'm changing things around. We go the same road that takes us to Little Rock is not gonna change. You always get the same outcome. Everybody travels, we just go to the same direction. If you go on the same highway, you're gonna get to the same destination. So if you follow the same routine that our family is doing, it's broke.
Okay.
Same friends who's broke.
Okay.
You follow the same route, then you're gonna be broke.
Okay.
So if you want to get to a different destination, you gotta change your course. You gotta take a different path, all right?
Yeah.
So that's why I said the power income shifting here. So when it comes to power income shifting, not only are we saying whatever tax bracket, because that's what we say when you look at the definition of income shifting, it's talking about how we can be on one tax bracket and we get into another, we shift into another one. But when we're income shifting, not only are we going to start shifting to a lower tax bracket, we're also going to be shifting to where our money works, because that money that we're saving on taxes, we're going to put it to work.
Yeah.
We're going to use that old money to create our assets so we can have, when the time of fire, it didn't make us do money, all right? So that's the big difference right there, right? So the power of getting out of debt, the power of paying credit cards off, consumer debt and things we need to do is a very powerful thing that you throw away money, whereas, hey, $18,000 could really be, you could double that, $74,000, or hey, now I can afford it. I do get my bonuses, I do get my things, running my business the way I'm supposed to. Running my business allowed me to income shift the money I would have paid in taxes, now saving $3,000 to $6,000 a year. If you divide that by 12 months, that's my $300 to $500 a month I have for investment. To get your way out of a hole, get your financial freedom. All right?
Right.
So, go back to our prior point. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
All right. So, supporting tools, we said that. Investment in the industry. I'm just giving you, I'm not an expert, but the stuff I'm learning, I'm learning enough to keep it to survive.
All right.
All right? And the more I keep learning, the more I keep digging in and researching. All right? So, the industry is broken into 4 major categories. We got cash equivalents like banks, bonds. We have stocks. And you got private businesses, real assets. Okay? All right? Alternate ways, there's also different ways you can do it. There is life insurance products and mutual funds and more life insurance products, real estate. So if you want to buy property, then you got the tax advantage investment, like your RAs and things you like to use for our taxes. There's plenty of times like, hey, I have to face to get my taxes one time. I said, well, I wonder. Let's just say that I had another standard deduction. That what if I would have put $2,000 more into a tax, investment, a RA? It made some difference, right? So not only was I shifting my income, lower my tax rate, because instead of making that much money, lower my taxable income, I was also putting money away, putting that old money away for future expenses, right? So now, that's why I tell people, when we have our scenarios and showing things, you really have your money working, and it becomes a game, it becomes fun, because you really see now your money is working for you, where, dang, I would have paid all that much in taxes, but because I was smart, because I know my strategies that I'm doing, because I learned how to minimize my tax, taking the extra money, paying off debt, taking that extra money. Now I'm using that to my third strategy is starting to invest. And now, it ought to be a law. It's a shame that's not a law to make people invest. It's ridiculous. It is. A lot of the economy can be raw. A lot of people in the communities can be better off if they invest. And there should be a law. They're not going to make you do it.
Right.
It's a shame. When I laugh and think, oh, I spend all this money in separate accounts and, RAs and bonds and things like that, tax-free stuff. And I get all that money back in a year if I just be patient. Don't freak out when it goes down, the prices goes down when I know now, and buy more. Hey, there's a lot of things that you can be doing. That's why we want to empower you to attain personal financial success. All right. So, don't be long. I just said, why invest it? Why does the bank loan money and then take that money and reinvest? Because the banks, I thought about it. They give you that simple interest, but they take around and get a compound interest. So I can give you 3%. But if I'm getting 18%, so that means I'm going to lose 3%. I still profit 15%. They still making some big money. I just put 8% on there. But that's possible. That's what banks, other people are doing. They're making 12% or more. They know how to invest it, right? So, another thing I think is banks are making money. But I was thought about thinking about the overdraft fees. Man, you can pay on the car. You can go over your account $2, $3, $5, and you pay a $30 fee.
That's right.
That's why I think they give that more people. That's the way they do with money. They get that extra fee just like that. And so if you got to know about what you're doing, I didn't think like that. But then, like I said, with just thinking about money, thinking about investment business, I sit there and I have moments like that thinking, man, how do they make the money? How do they do me? And then now when I see I gotta pay fees, I take those fees serious. I said, man, that's only $50, but that's $600 a year.
That's right.
That can mean something. So now I started shifting my mindset to where I see money. So now I'm shifting my income.
Yeah.
It's just means more than just shifting the tax bracket. The whole way I see life and say, well, you know, now every venture I take, every time I go to, I don't care if it's a trip, anything I know, I'm always conducting business.
Yeah.
The way I see it, because the thing is, I got to get that time back, you know, and a lot of people know that, y'all, we started young. Some people didn't start MyEcon young.
That's right.
And you got to get that time to get things. So I tell you, so work smaller. So when people say, I can't afford to do this, no, you can afford not to do this. You can't afford not to do business.
Right.
If you really want to be financial success and be successful, be in a good place, you cannot afford to be in business. You cannot afford to not run your MyEcon business, to not run your business, to not shift your income, all right? So, I just say your game plan, 5-point evaluation system. You got to ask yourself, is it A, is it really good, or is it F, is it really bad? Which way you been going? My game plan, what I've been doing, if it's not working, if I can't score in football, we couldn't score a touchdown, we had to look at the game plan, reevaluate it. So if you're not heading in the right direction,
That's all right.
you may need to reevaluate that.
That's right.
All right?
Yeah.
So think about that, the same outcome. Every time I keep, you know, score for long, I can't get that person out, I can't score because I keep doing the same plan, and the defense is just not going to work. So change it up. And that goes back to changing our mindset on that, all right? So, and you also know, one thing I love when I learned about the rule of 72, all right? That rule by Albert Einstein and things, he told you that, hey, the rule of 72 states that for $1 invested at 10%, it will take 7.2 years before it doubles. If you learn rule 72 when it comes to investing, you see how important compound interest is. You see that, hey, if I invest on 9%, it'll take 8 years for that to double. But while I'm sitting here saving in the bank at 3%, it's that. How many years take my money to double?
24.
I'm trying to retire, right?
Right.
Okay, but if I invest it into and be independent, with MyEcon will teach you through our strategies, and when we have our regional meetings and stuff, we had these cash flow success trainings that we got going on in March 13th to 14th, and people don't, need to register. You get that stuff, which is still tax deductible, which is still going to ship your income, and still benefit. I don't understand why is that. MyEcon, every meeting that we have, we make it way where it's tax deductible.
Yeah.
Your website, we make it where it's tax deductible.
Yeah.
It's shifting your income, it's benefiting you.
Yeah.
So you're not losing. You got to think business minded, like you said, I think CEO. You think about that. You got to expect. Think about the long run. What am I trying to do? What's the ultimate goal? So I'm gonna tell you right there. So when you're sitting around thinking about saving, but you don't have enough to invest because you're not running your business like you should, or you're not shifting your expenses and really changing the way you think about money, you're losing that and taking all them years, and the bank is getting anywhere from here, and they're getting every 6 years. So yeah, you go finance your car for 6-7 years.
Oh.
6-7 years, right? With a high interest rate. Because you don't have good credit, because you don't have enough, because you got debt and things. So you're paying 12% on a car. You're paying 7%. Okay, you're paying them the banks, they getting theirs. Yeah, about 6 years. Thank you, pay the car off. So they can double their money.
That's right.
You became an asset to them. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
All right. So you need to know compound interest versus simple interest. Compound is better, more powerful. Banks are giving you simple, making money on what you just invested. But when a compound, what I love about it, the money you invested plus the interest that came around, plus that keeps adding on, keeps adding on, keeps adding on. That's why you see people that have been having banks been around for decades and years, and 2, 3 decades, 30 years, 40 years. Family traditions who've been running businesses, operating for 20 years. All that compound interest is why they're wealth in it. Not just sales, investment.
Yeah.
All right? And I showed the capital calculator, but that's why it's important to get your capital strategy in place. That's why it's important. If you got a skill, if you got a strategy for couponing, that's a strategy.
Right.
I'm going to create more cash flow than all the price I would have paid. Now, be disciplined. Don't just say, okay, you got to save, don't spend on something else. But if you really want to discipline, take that extra money. If you're not making extra money in business, so take the money that you are spending better, and take that money, help follow your strategy, apply it to your debt. But the thing is, you don't want to be an asset, you want to create assets. Okay? So that's the power for this whole conference and meeting today. We learned about how now I got the money to buy my insurance. I got the money to pay for that, to secure myself for my family in case something happens while I'm running my business. Okay? I got the same time, I need to pay the money, I'm paying my credit cards off. That $50 a month, now I say, hey, it's really worth $74,000 if I apply right. Okay? So that's the power I say. It's more the income shit you're talking about when your tax bracket. Because income shit is a whole different way. I'm shifting all that money, from the left to the right. Instead of being an employee or business, somebody that's self-employed, that should be working instead of work. So you can be having a business, which is a system that's making money, or got other people working with you, that's making money. And eventually want to become an investor. Your money is truly making you money. All right? So make your money grow faster than inflation. Diversify funds. Think about things, mutual funds that invest in a variety of assets and stocks and bonds and monetary instruments. All right? So investors should consider the investment objective. There are risks, there are charges and expenses, things you need to look at. But like I said, all that's part of your blueprint. All that's part of your blueprint, okay? And there are things you said, being a business, that you can really shift your income by really investing to yourself for your financial future. That's why I do it now. I don't see the money right now because I'm not paying nearly as much as I was in taxes making the money I make now, in education. And the position I have, I'm not worried about the more money I make, I'm gonna pay higher tax because the more money I make, the more I'm gonna invest, the more I'm gonna have expenses I'm gonna incur. And investing, I'm going to invest in things I want to do to build my money for long run. Okay? So I heard one meeting there, he wasn't even part of my town, he did some kind of parts for Nissan. He had came to we had an African community event. And he shared one thing. He said that even though he was making millions, when he went to the bank to try to get a loan for his business, he had $50,000, down payment and stuff like this. He said the bank, they asked you this, what money have you invested in your business? Why would a bank invest in you or take a risk? Because it's all a risk. Why would investment is risk? So when they ask yourself, the bank asks you, why would they risk on you if you want to go do your own traditional brick and mortar business, instead of running home business, they ask you, what money have you invested into your own business? Why? If you're not willing to risk on yourself, why would they risk on you? He said that. And I thought about that. If you're not investing yourself in your own MyEcon business, buying your brochures, buying your business card. I see, what is that free cup of single in there? I love it. They put a video on there talking about business card. It's simple stuff. Strategies that's creating your wealth in the long run. Stuff you're already getting that's available. If you're not investing into yourself, how are you going to expect the business to grow? I don't think about monthly payment. I think about monthly investment. Because that website, that's an asset. Yes. That's able to make you money on products and services. Yes. So think about it, and it's still tax what? Okay, so get that mindset of that worker's mentality and get back into investor, into a person who wants to create wealth and think about wealth and certain things, okay? All right, so like I said, I didn't want to stay long. You got different no load mutual funds, through zero pricing things, you don't have to pay when you put the money, they put the money straight into investment, whereas when you got a load, most times you have to pay the person to get commission and things of that nature. But here's a few that we didn't share before. Thomas, everybody else to share about T. Rowe Price, Fidelity, Vanguard. But there's another one that I said. When I first got into business, I was a cat guy. I love my numbers guy. And I said, all these guaranteed to give me 7-8%, maybe 12% certain things. But there's one thing that I know I can get 100% return on my investment. And that's my MyEcon business. Well, I'm on the statement when you said I had not been to a conference, but I was sitting down thinking, and I asked her, I said, what if I invested to myself, my own business? What if I made before coupons leave out? I said, what if I invested $50 to a person and got somebody in business? Got that money back, got that bonus. I'd have made over 100% back return. To get 8 to 10%, this is secure, but the same thing, if I got money on my play one that you want to do, I use that to invest. If if I bet $350, I think I'd be sharing before. I was already thinking about that. You bet $350 for giving 7 people $50 coupon in a business. You done made that money back, plus a $1,000 bonus. You done made a profit. If you really think about that, you keep flipping and flipping and flipping it, I'm making 100% return. I'm investing it. So that is, to me, like I said, I'm just telling, and I said in our group chat, and on the other one, that I advise you. You people say, I don't want to advise, I'm not a bother about your T or price, and things. You go in there and you speak to financial, what's it called, expert, and do the thing. But I'm not backing down. I advise to invest in yourself. It's guaranteed. You get somebody in business, I'm gonna make my bonus return. I'm gonna get paid probably somebody coming to business. That's the strategy. Now that extra money that I have from that bonuses, guess what? That's another way I can invest. So learn to shift your mindset, shift your income, all right? Become income shifters is what I say. That's what we're trying to do with MyEcon. All right, thank you.
You finish that? Okay. I think that does it for today. Do we have any questions? Any comments? Can I get any comments? Yes.
You know, when you talk about, paying with your debt, I have a credit card that, when I first got it, $500, that's all I wanted, and it was fine. But I said in my budget, instead of paying the minimum, I paid $50 every payday. And then on the second payday, I can pay $100, and when I have extra, I pay more. Then they increased my limit to $1,250.